little kid.
I had Sarah dying because last night to talk about Steven's big ass head. I just played that thing from Invader Zim of him like, why is his head so big? Why is his head so big? Fucking, Steven got a big ass forehead.
Can you imagine having a gigantic ass head with no hair to cover that bitch up?
Yeah, I don't have to imagine. Yeah,
but you don't have a big head though.
That's because your head is big as fuck, but it fits on your body. My head is the same size, but it doesn't.
It actually does, but okay.
I don't know why, but I just thought of like he has like a raisinette head. I don't know why.
Now I wish. Now I'm glad that I don't have a head like fucking Benedict Cumberbatch, because that's like, bruh, your shoulders are like nowhere near the level they need to be to like protect that.
Because his face is too ugly.
Damn, son. I mean, he's British.
That reminds me of.
I don't mean anything. There are a lot of good-looking British people.
Name one.
That reminds me of
the fact that you just sat there and stopped.
You really want me to name one? Because I got two that you already are gaga over.
Gaga over?
Yeah.
Who that?
Rachel and Susie.
Rachel, they're not men.
You said two British people.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, but they're not men.
You didn't specify.
What were we talking about?
You didn't specify.
Nigga, what were we talking about?
You said ugly.
Context.
And then you said
this is why the Japanese do not accept you, because your context is all over the place.
The Japanese person would have said the exact same thing.
You know what's gonna happen to him? Right? A Japanese person's gonna walk up to him and be like, "You're not good enough," and they're gonna do like some weird fucking hand symbol thing into his fucking stomach and rip his Japanese genes out of his body.
It's a belly button bandit strikes again.
Belly button. Yo, I wonder if what happened to the dick sucking bandit. Remember the one that was like breaking into people's houses?
He's always trying to go on some more gay shit right now. We were talking about women. He's trying to talk about.
Oh, he was talking about women. He was talking about men that he brought it into women and he went back to men.
But see, he wouldn't stay on women. It's like, bruh.
That's becoming a problem
Joe.
recently.
It's seriously though. like you didn't.
I am warning you now. Everyone, shut the fuck up. I am warning you right the fuck now.
Actually, I could just show you.
Keep making gay jokes. Keep making gay jokes. I'm gonna start letting the maggots fly. I'm gonna be like, maggot this, maggot that. Because if you think if you're gonna keep making gay jokes about me being gay or some shit like that, because I'm not, I'm gonna start letting the maggots fly. I'll be like, okay, I'll lean in this gay shit. And I'll be like, yo, maggot this, maggot that, maggot this, maggot that.
He's leading into it.
Maggot, maggot, maggot.
All here talking about what he'll let a nurse do to him.
Nigga maggot. You're the one who brought that up.
No, you did.
You did.
You literally was talking about. Oh, you remember talking about the women who had to go in and get the procedures done by the doctors?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
But who's the one who brought up what they would have to do to a man?
You did.
I didn't. I said they were gonna jerk me off. You said, oh, they probably won't know. No, they probably gonna have to, tickle the prostate or some shit.
And who was the one like, I'll let them do it?
It's a hot ass shit like that. Right? It's not gay if it's a woman doing it.
It's still gay.
No, it's not. Pretty gay. So is it gay to get a hand job from a woman?
It's gay for you to jerk yourself off because you're getting a man off.
It's gay to get really?
Yeah.
So everybody's a little bit gay though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Fucking faggots.
Fucking. Now we know where he stands.
Fucking. Yeah, not. I was about to go in on you, but I'm like, let me not. It's not the place for that. It's the time and place. We'll go into that on your 50th birthday. Remember what I was talking about? Your 50th?
To everything, CJ. If there's one thing that I'm going to do when he's just gone, I'm just rig microphones up. I'm record everything he fucking says. He made sure to say some more off the wall shit when this isn't happening.
Buddy. What are
he used to record.
Nigga, that's both of us. You think Carl? Wait, hold a sec. Carl is literally the fucking... He makes me look like the crazy person because he's literally the fucking frog from the Looney Tunes shit. Where it's like, when no one's around and there's no recording devices, Carl says crazy shit. He doesn't have to swear to say it too, which makes it extra crazy. But then when everybody's around, I'm like, go ahead and dance. Do some crazy shit. Say some crazy shit. He's just like, he sits there with that fucking smile he's got right there. He's just like...
Pixar didn't happen.
But see, here's the thing.
No recording devices.
I can understand Matt. But you would do that.
Nigga, what?
You would do that.
It's just okay for him to do it. But when this
you do it when there's other people around. As long as it's not being recorded, you would be like off the wall shit.
They don't fucking hear me at all. Yo, I felt bad about that girl at the hospital. I was like, oh, she had me feeling bad. I don't know what the fuck she was going through.
She left out 20 minutes before you too.
Did she really?
Yeah.
She was in a full-on gown in there. She was like, they were not fucking around with her. Why'd they give the white... Wait. Why'd they
thought that she probably had that flu.
Is that what do you think?
Anybody who came in there like saying like they're sick, they got them in. They
got
got them back there real quick.
She was like, I can't. She was doubled over, and I don't know what the fuck was going on. She was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I'm sitting there like,
that extreme constipation.
Well, first of all, you're in America, so like I'd imagine that a virus like that, you're like one of like 10 people in America that have it. You're gonna get the best treatment. Seeing as how we don't want that shit to spread.
Would you say best or intense?
I mean, intense is better.
Yeah, but it's still going to make it to where people don't want to go through it, though.
Yes, but I honestly, is it something that they have proven that they cannot treat? Or is it because China has it?
I think it is kind of a trial by error. I haven't looked much into it.
So they don't know anything about it.
But the pure fact of how many dead bodies have been piling up in China.
How? Well, because that's my thing. Because I'm sitting there like, so I have a theory about why stuff like that gets over here and why stuff like that only affects it affects some people and it does kill some people in America, but it only usually not like by like huge amounts. It's usually like maybe the worst 100 people or something like that, and they're scattered everywhere. And it's one of those things where I think they introduce these things to third world countries so that third world countries who have better medical know-how and this, that, and third, better at creating like antivirus kind of stuff and all that kind of shit, like they introduce it here so that people get afraid of it. So then they're like, oh shit, give money to them so they can fucking fix that shit. That's one less thing I gotta worry about. And then next thing you know, there's a cure for it that they can now give to the places that in the world that need it, that can't afford to, or don't have the resources to, or don't have the manpower to be able to make for themselves.
You know what that reminds me of? Dave Chappelle's skit.
Which one?
The one where he gave all the world leaders everything, and then like a week later, there was a cure for everything.
What was that?
When he was the president.
Oh no, they had the cure for AIDS.
No, but he gave like everybody everything, and then he was pumping out cures for everything. It was more than just AIDS, I'm pretty sure.
No, because I remember he gave it to remember he cloned a white woman and he's like, here. He gave it to her. He's like, sorry about that.
I have to go back and watch it.
Oh, well, which president
did do that, but then there was also one, I think, where he said, oh yeah, we got cure for cancer, like he was just spelling beans and shit.
Because that was when the alien
but it was also around the same time he handed the vial, like little red vials, here. It's like cure for AIDS.
Sorry about last night. He handed it to the white girl too.
Maybe I'm mixing them up then.
Because there was a couple. He's done a couple skits as president. So yeah. So I've heard stuff that the whole president thing that they were doing, the whole bounty that they had on Trump was like fake. Which I'm like, I don't really care because he's like one of the most protected people on earth. So like, good luck. 80 million is based on action movies, I can tell you that 80 million is not enough to kill the president. It's not enough to go up against the fucking Homeland Security to kill the president.
Unless you're Gerard Butler.
Yeah, but 80 million is not worth it.
Oh no, 80 million is definitely not worth it. For a president's head, give me at least $1 billion.
President of one of the best countries with respect to like military power and shit, one of the best countries in the fucking planet, like yeah, no, that's not worth it. 80 million, it's not.
You know, it's kind of funny now you talking about this. I was watching today, Red and Red 2.
Those are good fucking movies.
I'm just imagining like how much would you have to pay Young Hun Lee to put in that work?
Young Hun Lee was a fucking monster in that movie.
He was like, you literally like $13 million for my plane, $14 million for this.
Man, Moses.
And then they paid me $8 million to kill you, so you owe me that too.
Right. I love how he's just listing that shit off at the end. He's just like, okay, now that we're not dead, you owe me a plane, you owe me the money that for not fucking killing you.
That's $10 million.
Fucking love that.
I was actually kind of starting to like you again, but you owe me money.
This is why you can't save the world. That was mad funny. Helen Mirren just sitting there cracking up laughing like, oh, nigga,
Frank Moses.
Right? I didn't know he was like a DC character. I didn't know that.
Yeah. The whole thing.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
You gotta find some more stuff beyond Young Hun Lee's in.
So what would be your price to go for the president?
That is a thing that yeah, I hate to like help anyone who's trying to do this, but that's not something that you but like, you know what I mean? Because you're actually thinking about, you're like, okay, let's see, fucking landscape of everything I know in my mind and all the things I know exist. Fucking,
I mean, step one: watch all of Gerard Butler's movies and don't do what the bad guys
exactly. In order to do this shit, you would literally need like the best. You would need the best people and the best like equipment.
You basically need like the Ocean's 11 of assassins.
Exactly. So you need people. So you need enough money for all of the people to get paid. You would need the sophisticated version of Expendables. Expendables is a bunch of old motherfuckers who don't give a shit about dying, so they just fuck everything up. They give a fuck.
Or what was
A-Team would actually. A-Team would be.
What was that? What was the other movie?
Equalizer. When Denzel watched it, you could do it with one person.
If he was in the first one, probably in the second one, I didn't
see the second.
Here's my thing.
It's because age.
Here's my thing.
He's older.
Yeah, the second that you first of all, you'd have to pick when to do it. That's the biggest thing. The second, like you can plan a plan to pick when to do it, but like the second that shit fails,
you're not gonna have enough.
You're done. Yeah. You're never gonna be able to do it because they're gonna bring this nigga back to fucking Washington D.C. Washington D.C. That block of Washington D.C. is one of the most heavily fortified areas in the fucking country, with respect to like the secret tunnels that they have that are guarded, the fucking sewers around it are guarded, the fucking air is guarded, the fucking roof is guarded, every single fucking inch of the goddamn lawn has someone looking at it at all times.
That's why in Olympus Has Fallen, they had to drop a plane on it.
Yeah, and even then they knew it was coming. But you it was one of those things where like, how do you defeat a person who can see the future? You got to put him in a situation where even if he can see it, he can't fucking stop it.
Yep.
Like, remember dude with the fucking Nora with the match?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I have gas around this entire, or I put demon like oil or whatever around this entire area, so like, have fun. He's like, fucking no, what are you? Just jumping at him to grab the thing.
Bungo Stray Dogs. He can see the future. Just get somebody who can see the future too.
that shit was stupid.
Like, but like it was some shadiness though.
The future.
It was some shadiness in that though, but it was good though. With the kids.
Yeah. I knew those kids were gonna die the second they came on screen. Wow. I felt so bad because Joe,
I didn't even know.
Let me explain this to you.
Way to spoil things.
Nah, let me explain this to you.
No.
Were you planning on watching Bungo Stray Dogs?
Yes, I was. So fuck you.
It is the most obvious thing I've ever seen in anything, Joe.
But I am the dumbest thing you've ever.
That's not true.
I pieced it together the second I saw that he was like, I was like, no, those kids are gonna die.
That, sir, is not true.
What?
So I'm pretty sure you watched some porn or some random delivery dude. He was like, oh, he's the porn guy. It's the most obvious thing right there.
I mean, that's different though. You go in knowing that. No, that would really throw you if like you were went to go watch a porn with the pizza guy comes in, right, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, the porn doesn't happen, and then the pizza guy walks outside and then he sees the neighbor and they start fucking. That'll throw you for a loop. You'll be like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming. That's a twist.
See, you know what it'd be? It'll be that, except what it will be is
what's the pizza too, girl?
The porn would be
got some big
the pizza
sausage
guy
piece over here
watching someone else having sex. So the pizza guy would come to your house, give you the food, and then he would be walking to his car, look to the side, and it's like someone's window
almost like
open.
Almost like how we saw that fucking like sex ritual or whatever was going on in that living room. Fucking, we were walking through we were walking through the, not the dorms, but they have like these little not really
like
townhouses.
On-site housing.
Yeah, it's actually owned by the school though, not like the other thing we were talking about. And by the way, dude was telling me you don't have to be a student to live in any of those things, but all of that thing can house students. So there's no like separate place where it's like this is just for regular people. This is just for it's like everywhere. But basically, we were walking through like this like courtyard type thing. And it's not really a courtyard. It's just like there's a bunch of paths. The way that the houses are, it's weird because some of the houses are facing like into this courtyard. The other ones are facing like the front road where the parking lot and everything is. And it's weird because we were walking through, we were cutting across the path to get out, and we look over and there's a bunch of people that are like half naked standing in a circle in their living room with like really dark lighting and everything like it looked like there was a light on the floor, so they looked dumb creepy, like the light was coming up on their faces and they looked really fucking weird. There was only one black dude there. It was like white women, white dudes. They were all half naked and just standing around in a circle, and we were just like, that was fucking weird. It was like, what was it, like a fucking weekend or something like that, or nighttime or something like that.
It was
somebody got sacrificed.
It was after dark and it was nighttime, so yeah, it's fucking weird.
Someone definitely got sacrificed.
I think was that the time that Tico Bro found the pimp hat? Or was that another time?
That was another time, because he found the pimp hat my last year.
Okay.
Because remember, I was living that far down. With this, it was either the year I was living with Jeff, or the year I was living with Colin and Joe.
I remember one of the times I was walking through there, and the guy was riding his bike at nighttime. And you know how they have those? They have like these like wooden posts, and they have the chain in between the posts. And he didn't see the chain because it's nighttime.
Not even a chain; it's like a wire. It's like a metal wire that goes
full speed and just rammed it and flipped and face planted so hard.
It's bad.
Yeah, and it was a surprise too. So it was like a double whammy because like it's a surprise. It's nighttime. You hit the ground and the bike hit you. So it was like he was he was not having a good
done,
night.
And then all of a sudden, yeah, that fucking sucked.
Yeah,
that was crazy. So who are you?
So to answer my own question,
who are you though?
$44 billion is all it would take for me to go after.
$44 billion?
Yeah,
that's a decent amount.
But that's just for me, one person.
Who are you gonna pay to do the other stuff though, and how much are you gonna pay them?
It's just gonna be me.
It's just gonna be you?
Yeah.
You're gonna brute force your way in like the Juggernaut.
Like you do.
I'm not gonna catch him at the White House. No, catch him coming off the plane.
Coming off what plane?
Air Force One.
At like an airport? The other most guarded place in any fucking city?
I mean, if it was
you realize that like rifles have very long range on them, right?
I was gonna say
yes, but like
this was a Michael Bay movie.
Well, that's the thing though. You can't just kill him. You're supposed to bring him in. You either have to bring, because remember they say you have to bring his head or you bring him in. So you're just gonna collect the head? How you gonna collect the head?
I ain't gonna collect anything. But like, listen, I'll send the recording.
There's no guarantee.
Wow.
Well, then that happens, and then they're like, oh, well, we're not paying you shit because we have no proof that you did it. Videos can be fucking edited, doctored. Could have just not been you. Any number of things.
Nope. Man, nope.
Yeah. Oh no? You're just gonna say no?
There's a simpler way.
Nah, that's not how it works.
Because you're assuming all that mess.
I'm assuming
that they'll be like that.
I'm assuming that you're saying
the fact that he's dead,
that they'll want to know the legitimacy of whether or not you nigga. $44 billion is a lot of fucking money. I'm not giving anyone $44 billion unless I know the fries are in the bag.
All I have to do is tell them exactly how I'm going to do it. I'll record myself. I'm not going to have my face in there. I'll definitely record.
And then what happens if you come to find out that the president has been wearing some kind of like mobile Pope-mobile level shit where you can't penetrate it, and it's like, oh,
he's outside. What are you talking about?
I said mobile Pope-mobile kind of shit, and if you let me finish, I was gonna say like a belt that generates a field.
Oh well, see, this is a Michael Bay movie now.
We're talking about reality, sir.
We're also talking about a reality where you are a hitman. I don't think you have that in you.
See, it's simple.
We're already talking
Michael
about
Bay
movie.
We're
Decepticons. Also talking about the fact I have the skill sets to do it though.
That's another large fucking
It's not a large. If anything, Steven is the one who could back the story up. I've already told.
Fucking what? Because you're good at because you're a decent shot.
There's more than being just a decent shot.
Fucking. So you have sniper experience.
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
Yes.
You have actual sniper experience.
Yes.
And you have counter sniper experience.
You don't have to be a counter sniper in order
yes,
to
the fuck you do, because they're gonna. What do you think the president's gonna have on him? Just like enemies that are just they're just there to be there. They're just big motherfuckers like Jason Momoa. It's like, no, they're gonna have guns. They're gonna have fucking sniper rifles coming out of their fucking jacket pockets and shit. And you'll be like, oh, excuse me, 1 second.
Yeah, exactly.
You need all of that kind of shit.
One shot and then you're gone.
And there's gonna be like 10 of them, Joe. By the time you see, there's already like 9 more that are sitting there like, oh, he's right the fuck there.
Who is going to be... I'm using a sniper rifle. I am not up on them for them to be right there to hear me.
You think they can't see the fucking entry wound from when he's fucking... If you do manage to hit him first, which would be the worst thing to do is hit him first.
All he has to do is shoot it and dip.
Literally, that's it. That's what a sniper does.
Shoot and dip. Have you not seen the movie Shooter? They will be dead on your ass like Spencer.
Do you realize that is a false thing? You're really trying to... No, okay, Justin. That's not how it actually works.
You really think that the vast amount of fucking... You really think that the vast amount of resources that this company... Yes, it is a company. That this country has...
Oh, it's him running it.
It kind of always has been, even before he was. But do you honestly think that the vast amount of resources that this country has won't be able to find one person who just assassinated the fucking president? They always will eventually find you.
Really?
Always.
Really?
Yep.
Really? Even JFK?
Yes. They did find that guy. Yeah.
Didn't he admit to that shit? Like, he was like, yo, I did that.
I don't know, did he?
They couldn't find him. He was like, this is me, you dumb fucks.
He was like, I am Gold D. Roger. Yeah.
That would be weird for Goldie Roger to say that, because people already know who the fuck he is. Want to post everywhere. But anyway. Fucking
not the blind people.
In any case, the only thing that you need to not do is showcase where you're at. And for one, a rookie mistake for any sniper is having your scope open before you're going to take the shot. You have everything lined up to where it has to be. Because what does the scope do? It reflects light, and they can spot that shit.
By the way, can you do me a favor, just so they're not breathing up my ass? What is your name?
Justin.
Really, Joe?
Yeah. Justin
Walk. I just answered. Yeah. Fucking. Okay, Joe.
I'll put the whole government in this.
Joseph
McClanahan.
Clammy hands?
It's your last name, duh.
McClanahan.
Yeah.
See, as soon as he said the energy field thing, I was going to say Michael Bay movie. Just get a Decepticon. Get a Decepticon, scan Air Force
No, if it's a Michael Bay movie, it's going to be like a fucking tiny ass bullet that causes a huge ass explosion.
Oh, see, I was going to say, just get a Decepticon and replace Air Force One and transform midair.
Besides, there's an even easier way for this too. All you have to have is
poison the McDonald's around the corner.
No, yes. Get a drone and have it fly to the wheel of the plane. That's all you gotta do. Motherfucker takes off.
I would laugh my ass off if come to find out Air Force One has like all this extra special like Iron Man level shit on it where it just like refabricates another fucking. You're just like, god damn.
See, that I would believe outside of a force field belt.
This thing is not a man of culture. He obviously hasn't seen Kamen Rider or anything like that. It's alright, Joe.
Gotta have you watch Kiva.
Yeah, it's alright.
I don't watch anything that this black person has watched.
You said black person as if it was a bad thing, but it didn't even sound bad when you said it. It sounded like you were more jealous of me and my superior black skin, which is another thing I wanted to talk about real quick. Robert Downey Jr. a week ago.
You don't have superior black skin.
I do though.
No,
Robert Downey Jr.
You're not Wesley Snipes shade. That's superior black skin.
You mean that French fry I pulled out of the fucking carton last night?
See how bad I just got right there? That's what I mean.
This nigga's burnt. Nah, fucking. So Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. Was on Seth Rogen talking about the blackface thing in Tropic Thunder. I thought that shit was hilarious because he said all his black friends fucking loved it, except for some. And like, even then,
Jamie Foxx loved it. He always talk about it like every interview. He's like, my boy, right?
And apparently, Robert Downey Jr.'s mom was like, "Robert, I don't think this is a good idea." It's just like, it's just hilarious. His mom was probably like, "Oh shit."
Can't go to black church anymore.
Yeah, right? Can you imagine though? Your son's like, "Hey dad, I'm gonna go do, I don't know, fucking movie where I'm like the black guy in the Tyler Perry movie, the dark skinned one." I remember, you really want that for your image, son?
Steve-O was saying before he does certain stunts, he would always ask his dad if it was okay for him to do them. Because some of them were like really over the top. He's like, "Dad, you think this is okay to do?" Because Steve-O and the squad, they used to do some stuff.
Who was the one they dress up as a, was it a Muslim? No, they said like a Taliban. He was supposed to be part of the Taliban.
Oh, the taxi driver?
Yeah.
That was, it was, you know how there's I don't know his name, but it's the skinny dude that's always with him. Because it was Steve-O.
That's Bam. The guy who's like usually, he's like their manager or some shit.
Yeah,
like,
he's also,
really, and they glued like all their,
they do stuff like
on
that.
His face.
Yeah. Like, he does the less, I think he was also the one who did the, for the TV show, he did like the where you shit in a toilet that's like in a hardware store. So it's not hooked up to anything, so it's just shitting in an empty toilet.
I forgot about that. You know, that one pissed me off. I was like, yo, for the person who has to clean that, I'll whoop his ass.
How you got a potato and now 4?
Can you imagine though?
Oh, you know, did you hear what happened? You know, Javi's car got fucked up.
When? I just saw him Saturday.
This happened like it was probably Sunday night.
Cause I was with him Saturday. I had to call him. Actually, he was texting me earlier.
And some Jeep drunk dude hit his car while it was parked, and like his whole back end is all.
Yeah, it must have happened Sunday then, because I was with him Saturday because we went to Monica store.
Yeah, so that's the front of the car right there. Because
can he still drive it?
A pole. No, that thing is fucking total. It is gone.
Me?
But right now he
By the way,
he's driving a Dodge.
Holy shit!
Truck.
This is what the fucking car looked like after Protein hit it. Remember the thing I told you about?
Go to
the fucking Protein monster after it fucking smacked the shit out of that car.
I thought it was a bus.
The first thing that they smacked was a bus. The first thing he smacked was an SUV that was armored, and then the thing they killed him with was a bus.
Okay. Actually, Javi was saying that he wanted a truck.
Damn, son, is he okay?
Oh, he was in his house when this happened. It was just a drunk dude that just ran at probably going at least 50, 60 miles an hour.
I wonder what kind of insurance he got because.
At that point, it doesn't really matter because you did nothing wrong.
Well, no, I'm saying I'm wondering what the payout's going to be for him.
That other guy's insurance is going to be the thing that's going to have to pay.
So I wonder if Javi's going to be able to get his truck now.
Right?
Because I know he said he actually wanted to do more with that car. Remember, he said he wanted to redo the sound system in it, and then he wanted to get a truck.
It depends the extent of the damage because if the damage got to the like parts of the engine that are like too fucking like it's not even worth fixing, then they'll probably have to pay for him to get a car of about equal value.
Actually, you know who else got into a car accident? Jonathan.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he okay?
Yep.
Okay, good.
That's why there wasn't any clicks Saturday just passed. Because I actually texted him like, hey, I didn't see a tournament up. He was like, the tournament for this week is get me a car.
Oh, shit.
It's like I need a ride so I can shop for cars. So he's been shopping for cars for like the last like week and a half, 2 weeks. Yep.
Fuck.
Yep. So everybody's getting their cars totaled, man. Be careful. Watch all them videos. Getting your reflexes up.
I was supposed to go to my sister's baby shower yesterday. So I was supposed to go home. And
I was surprised you didn't go.
Do it.
He made up a sickness to make sure he couldn't go.
Because it started hurting. It started hurting on Saturday night at like 2:00 in the morning. I was about to bring this white girl home, and I was sitting outside.
You caught something?
I don't even know. Well, no, there was nobody in my car.
She transferred the white guilt over to him.
So I was driving, as if that would work. I was driving.
I rebuke thee
from another part of it. Don't even have to do anything like that. It just doesn't work. I was driving in, and then I was waiting for her. She didn't show up, and I'm like, yo, why does my fucking stomach hurt so bad? I thought it might have been like I was holding in a fart. You know how it is when you hold it in too much, and then you're sitting there like it's sitting there bubbling, and you're like, come on, come back out, and you're just like, it's like no.
Obviously, you just need to start gassing
more
people.
Pain, huh?
Just need to start gassing people, letting it bake.
That was really waiting for him to get out the damn hospital. I was holding that fart in for a dumb long time.
So you know what I'm talking about. So basically, I thought that's what I thought it was. But then when I got home and I laid down, I was like, why does it hurt to lay on my stomach at all, especially on my right side? So I tried to lay down. I got to sleep, and then I woke up at like 7:30 in the morning because I'm like, I'm in intense pain. Why the fuck is that? It's because I was laying on my right side. I get up, I start walking around the house. I'm like, okay, I should probably try to go to the hospital. I try to go down to, because, you know, Steven was in the bathroom and everything, so I was getting ready for work. And I was trying to go downstairs to your bathroom, and I almost threw up in your bathroom. I don't even know if it was because of that or if it was because of the poo-poo smell in your fucking toilet. But either way, I almost upchucked. I started getting the mouth sweats, and I almost did it, and then I was like, huh, and it just didn't come out. So I'm like, okay, fine. So that's when I woke you up, and I'm like, Joe, I need to go to the hospital. Because it hurt that bad that I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this is. I'm not taking any chances because it's my right side, and on your right side is where your appendix and your gallbladder are. So if either of those, if you either had a gallstone or you had appendicitis or anything like that, you need to go to the hospital. Maybe there's no riding that out. There's no waiting until it's better. So, if it's appendicitis, if your appendix bursts, you basically just have a buttload of like toxins that are just in your body cavity and start infecting you.
See, that's a totally different pain.
It is, but I've never felt that before.
Maybe you got the gangrene from her mother.
It was getting increasingly worse, and that's why I was like, let me go to the hospital just to make sure. I wasn't trying to fuck around at all.
No, I'll say, for someone who's been around people who can explain this to me, dealing with the fact they've had broken bones and shit like that, and you've torn your ACL, so you know what extreme pain feels like. It's more than that.
That's why I didn't want to fucking play around, because it was getting worse. I didn't know how bad it was going to get. Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's the moment that happens.
The rupture stuff, they say that a lot of times when it ruptures, it actually doesn't hurt at all. A lot of people are saying that like the most pain is when it's like about to do it, because it's like stretching at the shit, and then once it's pops, the nerves are like barely even connected to it anymore. And then what happens is you start to get this fucking pain from like the shit that came out of it that starts fucking with the insides and everything. It's literally like poison sac inside your body that explodes for damage, internal damage, and it's like fucking.
Yep, people. That's why when you have mono, you don't do a fucking thing.
Yeah, because if you try to do too much,
because all that is stretched to the point where lifting 5 pounds can make something go.
I remember there was that 3-month period where I thought I had mono because of that fucking deaf chick. You remember her. She drank from my fucking Arizona iced tea, and she's like, oh, I might have mono. And I'm like, why the fuck would you drink from my tea then? Oh, it's fine. It's probably not the same thing. It's like, you can transfer mono. After you heal from it and you're done with it, you can transfer that shit up to like 2 weeks or some shit after you're actually like clinically cured, I guess you could say, or whatever, or something like that. And I was sitting there like,
jealous.
Fucking, I felt bad for him, bro. She treated him like shit.
Maybe he's
remember the camera that he
had? Sadist.
Remember the camera?
Oh yeah, I know you told me his.
God.
He wanted to do Call of Duty and she did Call of Booty.
Like he asked for his camera back. Come to find out that he had given the camera to this deaf chick for I always call her deaf. I don't know, her name is Marissa or something like that, but we call her the deaf chick, and she was like okay with that. She calls me the black guy. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. So it's like, you think that does anything to me? I don't give a fuck. Anyway,
your words mean nothing. You are beneath me.
Your words empower me. God damn, like fucking. But anyway, she recorded a video of her fucking another dude on his camera, and I was like, for a girl that you like imagine a girl you like was like, hey, let me borrow your camera, and then you get it back, and there's softcore porn of her just like getting, because it was at a weird angle, so you didn't really see it. That's the worst part too, because he was sitting there like, you can't even see me. It's like fucking. It's fucking great.
Hilarious.
It's fucking great. That's that friend I told you about from I can't say where he lives, but you know what I'm talking about. We drove by it the other day. Yeah. Anyway,
at least he doesn't got to worry about the desert anymore.
Yeah, I cured him that. Who was I talking to when I?
Oh, I can send that out too.
Desert. Oh, that's the chick we saw at Walmart. Remember I told you that was the chick that I saw at Walmart was the chick that gave my friend the desert curse. And I said I wasn't gonna fuck with that because I'm like, no, I'm not getting cursed.
Desert curse.
Where like he didn't have sex for like a year and a half or something like that.
You should
and I had to throw tiny hands at him to get.
You should have threw
to break that curse.
You should have threw Tico Boy at her.
And then they had a loving relationship for like 3 years, and then they broke apart, and then they tried to make me choose, and I'm like, nah, I'm choosing both of you. I don't give a fuck. Fuck the rules.
You should have threw Tico Boy at her to see if it was actually a curse.
Because I love you both, and I'm sorry, tiny hands. But I don't see your name.
Yeah. Smack your mom.
Fucking yo, I know one person who's gonna be listening to this podcast, and I'm probably going to their house this weekend, and it's fucking hilarious because he probably gonna be listening to this like, bro, you just refer to her as tiny hands. It's like she fucking
because it makes everything look bigger.
Do you know what I'm talking about? The librarian. Yeah. Fucking Joe only knows her by tiny hands, and now I'm like, oh no. Because now he got me listening to that over and over again, and now that's the only thing I say when I reference her, and I'm like, oh fuck. I can't, because I was so good, I stopped doing it, and then she's like, oh, you make me feel so self-conscious. I'm like, yeah, but it's just your hands. It's not that big a deal. It's definitely not that big a deal. She's like, oh god. I'm so sorry. So yeah, no, I had an ultrasound done, and it was fucking weird. The lady said I have like really good hearing apparently because the way ultrasound works is it like does some shit with like it uses like sound waves or something like that and through like crystals or some shit. And apparently if you listen hard enough you can hear like the humming of the crystals. And she was like, I can't even hear that unless I put it like right next to my head and turn it on. And I could hear it like when it was all the way down here. Like on my abdomen. So I'm like, maybe I have super hearing. It's a dumb fucking power to have, but
do you think during the tuning exams
I can be Superman listening to my ex-girlfriend get her cheeks clapped from across the fucking planet?
By Bruce Wayne.
Oh shit, yo. We had a whole thing about Superman earlier where fucking bring up with Superman, he's sitting there in the closet crying because he can hear you getting your cheeks clapped from anywhere on the fucking planet now.
Probably Bruce Wayne. You know Bruce Wayne messed with Lois.
You know who's fucking worse though? Imagine if Superman can like hear his mom get her cheeks clapped. Fucking y'all.
Why do you think he's staying so far away from
That's
home?
some next level shit. Yeah, Kansas is dumb far from him. If he can hear what's her name from Egypt, then like yeah,
Is that why he didn't save Jonathan?
Probably not.
So he didn't have to hear the cheeks anymore.
No one shall have them. No one shall clap my mother's cheeks. Henry Cavill's reborn as the Witcher. Come back to Henry and clap his mom's cheeks. Fuck. Oh, I'm done. This shit's good. I hope that Final Fantasy show is gonna be good.
It's not.
It might be. The Witcher was good. It depends where they decide to go with it.
Witcher was bad.
Which Final Fantasy?
Why are you saying that with like a Jack Nicholson look on your face?
Bad. Because I haven't watched it.
You should.
Shoot, the fuck was that noise?
I have no
Stream
idea.
hiccup.
What is your name?
Obscura!
Yeah, what's your name?
Lonely Nigga.
Number
AKA
5.
Untimely Death. AKA the Jokage.
I am not the Hokage.
I didn't say the Hokage, I said the Jokage.
Olympic
AKA,
Sasquatch.
You're
AKA Olympic Sasquatch.
I'll take Olympic Sasquatch, because I am very tall and have big feet, and I would like to go to the Olympics.
For what? Because you probably qualify for like 8 things if you're at your best.
AKA Destroyer of Serena's Cheeks.
No, that goes
Joe,
to
the
the
white
owner
girl
of
slayer.
Reddit.
None shall have them. He's not the owner. I think he's a co-founder.
I've been hearing founder or owner.
He might be the only one that's still left there that owns it. Maybe I don't fucking know. I could be wrong.
But
everybody
not fallible.
Is the dude got mad money?
Is he Asian?
He's white.
Yeah, he's white.
Yeah, there's. Maybe I'm thinking of Google because Google had a couple founders, and like only 1 or 2 of them still owns it now. I don't know.
Yeah, anytime I heard that, I never looked it up. I went to go see what he looked like. I typed in Serena Williams' baby daddy.
Joe's like, okay, I'm gonna need to knock that dude out, take his place.
It's a white dude. They're like, oh yeah, he's the owner of Reddit, or he's the dude who founded Reddit. And I was like, oh, well, which one is it? Because one's different.
Yeah.
So I will flip flop between the two. I don't know for sure. If you're saying he's a co-founder, then
I could be wrong though. Because it's based on memory, and I've read a lot of stuff about different tech companies. You always got like, well, the 3 of us made like a thing together, whatever. Like, and then somebody Zuckerberg, somebody out of.
Yeah, we sold it to this person, and then this person had it. They traded it for a Twix.
And then the app voluptuated, and then that Twix became the most expensive Twix in the fucking history of. There was somebody bought a pizza instead of putting money for Google. They wrote an article about how this guy like. He could have put in money for Google back in the 90s, just like Shaq did, and said he bought a pizza. And now he's intensely regretting his life because that pizza was like $20 back then, which is now what, like probably $50, maybe $40, or something like that. But that $40 would have gotten him millions of dollars as of now. So,
yeah, which is why I'm always trying to listen out for something to invest in.
Right, but like that, it's almost impossible to find the next thing because it's like
that. Well, see, I've been like on YouTube looking up shit for like, oh, how to invest in one.
You gotta look at the people though, because the people who do the like TikTok got big because, and the people who got behind TikTok were like, well, my kids were like, well, Dad, there's a thing called TikTok, and I was like, okay, I'm fucking investing in that shit. Next thing you know, they turned a $100,000 investment into like millions and millions of dollars.
Well, it's not. I mean, for how to
the process
get into it and do all that stuff. That's what I've been looking into doing. So,
I can show you that guy who remember the guy I told you about who lost his millions multiple times. I can show you. I can look into it for that guy. It's easy. It's for him. It was very easy to get, and people are like, "Why should I take advice from this guy?"
Like,
because he loses it all the time. It's like he loses it because he's an idiot and he spends it on dumb shit.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage.
I got money.
Gonna pull our money and invest in JT. See if he does anything.
See if he does anything. Yeah, no. I'm not leaving a stack of money.
I would gladly invest in JT.
Put a stack of money next to a turtle and be like, see if it do something. Maybe. Yeah. No, but if we were to actually put money into JT, he probably could make something.
Yeah. If it was anything, I would love for JT, Shadow, and Flair to work together as a team and do something. Because the 3 of them will be awesome.
They could probably make some sick webcomics.
Yeah, definitely.
Or multimedia design, do like web pages and stuff.
If we got the 3 of them together and my friend and the one who we were just talking about, that could work too. Because he's like new media publishing. That's all about like marketing and all that kind of shit.
I know a few people who do that too. And then we get Miranda, because then she can animate the stuff.
And my other dude, the animator dude.
Remember Hannah?
Oh my god! Person. Oh my god! Fuck Hannah! Oh my god! No, I'm kidding. No, I was in a weird place this past week because I normally don't find myself too far out of my like comfort zone where I'm like I can't be me. And the Chinese food place was one place because I don't know Hannah and I don't know the chick next to her. Even though the chick next to her, was that Miranda? She looks dumb familiar, but she was she said she graduated like recently, right? Or she like still.
She said 18.
She graduated 18. That means she still would have been there when I was there in 16. So I probably know her because of that. Like I've probably seen her enough times because of that.
Or she's in the video you watched.
People pay for college in different ways. I'm not judging. Anyway, fuck Hannah. I don't even know. Nah, I'm kidding. Hannah was alright. She was like, oh god, I have to. She had that weirdness of like, oh, I have to sit next to a black person now. I have to pretend to not be like. I'm not saying she's racist or anything. I gotta pretend to be like, try to be cool, but at the same time, like, not be a dick or whatever. Like, gotta watch what I say. Like sometimes you get around white people and they're like so that,
hurt.
and you can feel that.
Out that Miranda was dating someone. I was like, damn. So maybe, nah.
Yeah.
And then she's boyfriend's like, shit.
Who was I talking to? And they said they had a boyfriend. Who was that? And you were there too. Because we were talking to. Oh no, that was just me. That was on Saturday night. Saturday night, I gave a ride to this girl who just started talking to me about.
Put me in a situation.
She just starts talking because I thought it was you, but I got Miranda and her mixed up. They're both white. Anyway, fucking. Racist. Well, when you don't try to be different from other white people, then I'm not gonna remember. No, I'm kidding. Wow. All of my friends are different, though. I can honestly say that all of my white friends, I don't have any. I can't say I don't have any. I don't have the ones who know, I don't have many white friends who are cookie cutter white people. You know how I told you about like that the place in town where you can go and see all the fucking like all the people where they go for bars and shit like that. That stripper, where you go down there and you look at like any 5 white women and they're all wearing jeans and a black shirt and blonde hair, and you're like, I just saw the same bitch 5 times. Like, and even they admit it. Like I talk to them sometimes when they're in my car and they're like, yeah, we're just cookie cutter white women or whatever. Like they say that to me and I'm sitting there like trying not to laugh. It's like no. He's like, no, you don't have to. It's yeah. But like when you're not that different, it's like it's yeah. And I'm like, most of my friends are not that. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not used to the cookie cutter thing.
So what you're saying is it's okay for white people to think that all black people look alike because most black people wear the same shit.
We don't though. It's like 1,000,001 motherfuckers out there wearing their cousin's gear because they're like, yo, my cousin's starting up a startup, yo. It's good. It's called Dragon Feathers. Yo, it's mad good. So
they were sagging
right now.
They were sagging the pants. They got some old dashiki t-shirt or some random shit on.
What kind of like combination jail nigga, hostess nigga are you creating right now? This shit
because that's what it is. All these black guys are getting on because of fucking like Umar
next thing
Johnson
you know, he's gonna be
shit.
wearing a kufi or some shit like.
Kufi Kingston.
Have you not gone to like some of these bars? A lot of them have been wearing that, like Malik from Rowan Martin, shit like that.
Yeah, that one day he came in dressed like he went the full nigga. You never go to full nigga. Yo,
but I can tell you,
Robert Downey Jr. was afraid to say that in the fucking interview though. He's like, yeah. The funny thing is, like, apparently Ben Stiller got in trouble. Like when they were like looking for like who should we be upset about, they went straight for Ben Stiller. He was like, God damn. Almost came right now.
Go full retard.
He didn't want to say that though. He's like, you never go to. You're not gonna say that. That was bad funny. Oh my god. Nah, but yeah, I don't know, man. I can't even remember where we were going with that conversation.
Cookie cutter white woman. She was talking.
Oh no, yeah, she was telling me about how she was like talking about this other chick. She was telling me about how she had a boyfriend and this and third. I'm sitting there like, I mean, you said you have a boyfriend like 5 times. I'm not trying to hit on you. I'm trying to make conversation because you keep trying to talk to me. And I don't really want to talk to you, but because you keep talking to me, I'm going to keep talking to you. Because that'd be rude to just, like, you say something and I just don't say anything. So I keep talking to her, and then it comes up that, oh, my boyfriend's a fucking industrial engineer or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's great. Well, I'm a civil engineer, whatever, blah, blah. Fucking, she kept telling me she had a boyfriend like 5 times. I'm like, God damn. I get it. It's like, shit. Yeah. She was cute, though. Yeah, but anyway. Fucking,
maybe she could sense that you sensed her booty, and she was like, I gotta let him know.
She probably saw me checking her out when I picked her up because she was like in front of my car. Like I didn't pull up like next to her. I pulled up like he was kind of a little bit in front. So, and these people who keep getting, bruh, when you have let me teach y'all some lift etiquette right now. So I know a lot of y'all.
About to get real.
Okay.
No, is this only for Lyft, or can you also transfer?
This can be transferred for Uber too. When you get in a car and it's just you, sit in the fucking back. Don't sit next to me. That shit creeps me the fuck out.
But wait. I will say this. I have had a few people ask me to sit in the front seat with them.
That's because they wanted your kidneys.
I was about to say, that's because you big as fuck and they know they can't fight you through a seat. But if your head is right there, they can be BOW! Through the roof. You be looking like that dude Sanji fucked up. That first guy, full body. Nigga.
And then there was this one woman who had a pickup truck. And it was doing that.
If it's the only seat.
But she had the crew cab.
Oh, she had the big ass. Okay, yeah.
And but I went to go sit in the back.
I can understand that because even the crew cab, unless you have a big ass crew cab, even then it's still the back can be constricting.
I mean, I had no issues with it, so I was like.
But some people feel more comfortable. Some people, I'm gonna say this: some people are more comfortable with you sitting in the front for different reasons. Everybody has their reasons, but like when you think about it this way, when you get in a cab, what do? You sit in the fucking back. Why are you trying to sit in the front? I can understand if there's too many people. I know, right? Even then, but you should feel more special sitting in the back because it looks like you have fucking.
Yeah,
I don't
but
think
they got culture.
even allowed to sit in the front seat of a cab.
Exactly. You're allowed to sit in the front seat of a cab if you have 4 people or if you're getting in a cab that already has somebody in it and there's already 3 people in the back.
Well, no, I thought it was because that's why they had that before they used to have that plexiglass that was separating. They had the separation,
yeah.
And no one was allowed to sit in there, and they had to specify if they had more than 3 people.
Yes.
And then that's when they sent the minivan.
That's when depends because if they don't have any more of the minivans, like if you go to New York City or whatever, if they don't have any more of the minivans because they fill up real quick, they have to send a regular cab and you just might have to sit in the front next to the dude. Sometimes that happens. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes it does.
So I had a question. Have you ever drove anyone and they sat in the front seat and just stared at you while you were driving? So like you sitting there like, okay, say this is you. Say this is you.
I honestly think that's not as bad as the motherfuckers who sit. Because at least then I can defend myself. The motherfuckers who sit in the back and stare at you through your fucking rearview mirror, it's like, bruh. I have now learned to drive without looking at my rearview mirror. I have my mirrors angled to the point where like I can see well enough on my sides and behind me without using the rearview mirror. Because these motherfuckers, I swear to God, with my car it's more because the back window is not, it's not like how older cars are where it's like, the back window is more more vertical than horizontal. Yeah. Like nowadays the cars like there's like an angle that's less steep for the rear view mirror or for the rear windshield.
Which is weird because there's like no windshield basically.
Which basically makes it so that the window that you have to look out is mad tiny. And it's right above where the people's heads are, so you still see people if you're looking back. Which, if I'm sitting there and it's like, I look back and I see Carl, that's not that big a fucking deal. I know Carl, he's my friend, whatever. But when I'm driving for Lyft and I'm driving random fucking people, looking back and seeing you look at me is fucking unnerving as fuck. That's the kind of shit that makes me want to pull the fuck over and be like, get the fuck out. That's like being at a like how the fuck are you at a urinal and somehow our dicks touch? That should happen. That is not something that should fucking happen.
Are you confessing something right
now? No, I'm just saying there's not something that like there's no way that should happen.
Hey buddy, so why the fuck?
You know what I mean? See how he interjects some gay shit in there like that?
This motherfucker's talking about gay shit.
So I got a question.
You're the one who was talking about touching tips.
I'm saying it.
You're the one who was talking about touching maggots.
No. So I had a question for you. Would it be more unnerving if they were looking through the rear view at you, or would it be more unnerving if they just put their head on your seat?
I had a kid do that the other day actually because he was talking to me.
But I'm saying like random 30-year-old dude
who
just.
In your ear. Say, hey, let me whisper in your ear. Are you driving?
You want a popsicle?
That's how you get fucking shoulder or elbow to the fucking face.
Let me touch your front.
That was what the drunk girl tried to do that to me.
Yeah, the Hispanic woman that you...
No, not the Hispanic one. The other one I was telling you, felt me up and stuff like that. She was, touching my head.
Ooh,
and I'm like, I had to get her the fuck out. I had to fucking get her the fuck out of the car because I'm going to be incredibly vulnerable right now, which is against my personality type. It's exposure therapy for me. It is.
What's your
word? Basically, my head, on the top of my head, you know, like on my neck, not the.
That's
obviously the dick head.
I mean, that's.
But the top of my head. Yeah. Well, we have two heads. Come on, we're men. Fucking the top of my head is like my weak spot because if you rub my head, I get too fucking relaxed. And if it's a dude who does it, I'll punch you. I will punch you. If it's a chick, I start to get too relaxed, and I might have to like move myself away from you if I don't like you like that, or if I'm not trying to have that happen.
Is that why you cut your own hair? You don't let people do it for you?
No, that's different.
Because I'm just imagining.
That's being poor. But as a kid, but the fucking barber. Same way though, because as a kid, I used to fall asleep when they were doing my hair.
I'm just imagining.
But it's not. But he's not like rubbing my head. It's not like how you know what I mean. Like how you.
The one
my dude is sitting there with his. My dude is sitting there with his hands, with just his fingers. You know how the barber do? They do that with their fingers on your head, turn it like that, and turn it like this, and you know, like, they're not laying their whole hand on your head and being like. Because remember I told you when I see those
Yo, Joe's over here dying.
It's because of what I just did with the fucking moving the head. Because who the fuck is they're not massaging your head when they give you a haircut. But remember the head massages that we used to watch for the massage videos. That there's a reason why those like make me feel dumb relaxed because I can almost feel it on my head because my head is very sensitive. Yeah.
I'm taking myself out of this camera.
Yeah.
That's why you need a camera.
Yeah. Thinking all that gay shit.
Oh, you get like the one closeted gay barber. And
what? Yo.
So you
I'm sorry, dude. I'll give you a tip. I'll give you a tip, but you get punched in the stomach if you touch me like that.
Oh my god!
You give him a tip, he might give you a tip.
He gonna lose that tip. Try to give me that tip, he gonna lose that tip.
Oh god! Like I'm trying so hard to like not.
It's gonna be a different time. It's gonna be a different time of taking that tip.
So what happens if a
have
dude
this back at the end of class?
rubbing your head and then massaging your earlobes? Is that
massaging my earlobes?
Yeah. So I'm just throwing scenarios out to see if you stop breathing.
Oh god! Oh, let me get behind you.
Oh damn! Me and Joe are the only people who
Oh
have earlobes.
god!
Y'all niggas ain't really got earlobes.
Zero killers.
What the fuck? Is that like a thing? You don't have
small earlobes.
Small earlobes mean you're serious. So I'm fucking what, the Buddha? My earlobe is big as fuck.
Hey, when you look at Buddha, you always have some elongated earlobes.
Yeah, that's true. Girls like my earlobes.
All I'm
yeah, you saw how I cut in right there, right? Because I saw you about to say something. I'm like, nah.
All I'm saying is
ear sex.
For me,
$44 billion, and I'm ready to go.
I'm not letting you touch my head for $44 million.
I said $44 billion. I'm talking about the president.
You want more money? Okay, I mean, I'm still not doing that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Good now.
Yeah. I'm glad that I had a moment where I actually was vulnerable for a second, and you spent the entire 5-10 minutes laughing at it. Thank you for that.
Yeah. I mean, you try to get me to feel bad. I'm not, but it helps.
That's why the helm splitter is such an effective technique. That soft spot.
Oh, is that what it is? You still got
it's not a soft spot.
That's about the helm splitter.
You still got a soft spot from a baby. It never got.
No,
hard.
I have a spot right here though from when I fell down the stairs as a kid.
Now, did you fall or did your sister push you?
No, she wasn't near me.
No, he stomped at the cat.
The cat. Yeah. So that second wave was the knee.
That was a cat.
Yeah.
That
actually,
was stairs.
Did they get another cat?
Huh?
Did they get another cat?
Yeah, they got another cat because the other cat is fucking dead or something. I don't give a fuck.
Wait, what?
My sister's cat.
Oh.
Oh, you thought Sonny died, didn't you?
Yeah, bro.
Perked up real quick.
New house shoes?
I just saw Sonny, so with that, then Sonny's like,
oh, it's PT all over again.
Punch his ghost in the face. Throw some catnip. Fuck.
So could a dead cat, cat ghost get fucked up by catnip?
I was actually thinking that too.
Still catnip. They'll remember it, so they'll look at it and start freaking out. But I don't know if they can smell it.
He's so weird with it though. He'll growl and like rub his chin on it.
So he's that motherfucker that has to like get in the pile of crack to like.
I smell rocks.
I love how it feels on my skin.
Speaking of crack rocks, I have a question.
Yes, you can put it in lotion.
I believe all of us have both seen Chappelle's Show and also Key and Peele.
You mean seen both?
How much of it?
I'm pretty sure we've seen all of Chappelle's Show, correct?
Yes, but Key and Peele, not all of it.
Yeah. That's alright. It's not a thing. Do you feel? Do you feel Key and Peele was better or Dave Chappelle?
Definitely Chappelle's Show was better. Key and Peele has these moments where they strike gold with what they talk about and where they go with a lot of their jokes, but I honestly feel like sometimes they keep the joke going too far. Like some of their skits would be better if they were just shorter. And also, I mean, they're basically copying the formula of Chappelle's Show, so it's like you can't really. I mean, sometimes you can surpass the original, but like
completely unrelated question.
I mean, they did surpass it in one aspect, but
just length.
Completely unrelated question. Did you get queso with your chips?
I did.
I didn't get shit. They just gave me the chips.
You got the
ass.
Yeah, the queso is extra.
Yeah.
So
they did give me. They gave me queso. If you're not gonna give me
the queso, then don't give me the damn chips.
I don't think they gave me enough queso though, because I paid $4 for queso and they gave me like a fucking tiny ass thing. It wasn't as big as the green cups. It was like it looked like it was half the size of a green cup. I was like,
yeah, I got the bowl. If you said cup,
is that what it is? Okay.
Where'd you go?
Close.
Which one?
This one also white.
It's funny. Sandyman doesn't fuck with Moe's, but he fucks with Chipotle.
Yeah, right.
One over.
Mount.
Yep.
No, they made it more universal for Key and Peele.
What?
Their show it was more universal.
Oh, because they had to they dialed back some of the bullshit so that they could show it to everybody.
They really didn't dial back anything.
I mean,
that's their comedy.
The raunchiness is like not the same as Chappelle's Show. I don't know. I mean, and then also just I get the feeling that it's just them working on shit, whereas like Chappelle's Show had Chappelle, it had Donnell Rawlings, and it had fucking Charlie Murphy, like some of the funniest motherfuckers.
Don't get me wrong.
And Bill Burr.
I choose Chappelle's Show over that, but I still have to give them mad respect for the fact that Dave Chappelle has I'm rich bitch.
Yeah.
And
he's got quotables.
Charlie Murphy.
He's got hella quotables.
He has some. He doesn't have a lot of them. He has some quotables.
But those quotables are known by like everyone.
But on top of that, you have more people who will quote Key and Peele than Dave Chappelle.
I think that's because...
And that's the same people who would choose Dave Chappelle over Key and Peele.
I think that's because the shows lasted longer. Because Key and Peele is a show that...
seasons.
Key and Peele?
Yeah, only by 2 seasons. They have 5 seasons. Yeah, Chappelle has
twice
3.
as much. Yeah. Chappelle had 2. The 3rd season was nothing but like skits that they had worked on before that they had like rejected.
Still 3 seasons.
I don't really count the last one because Dave wasn't even there, and they were using junk sketches to be like, oh, let's see how people think about them because we don't know if they're good or whatever. So let's try to salvage the show and like make money or whatever. It's like
still wasn't good.
Yeah. Alright. Like, cause the majority of people I talk to about the 3rd season, they're like, "There's a 3rd season," or they're like, "Oh yeah, but I can't really even remember anything from that season." Oh. And I'm like, but those first 2 seasons are like, you can go through like every single episode and break down like all the different sketches. And people are like, "Oh, I remember that." The fucking like, "Do you know black people" sketch and the fucking, you know what I mean? Like all that shit.
Again, it's I'm saying the fact that people will go through and they can break down entire episodes of it because you have skits like the racial draft and MTV Cribs, the wife swap thing.
Tell me why
with
Most
her
Def
husband
reminds me of Jason. I don't know why Most Def reminds me of Jason in that. I could see Jason haggling for fucking Tiger Woods like that. We got yourself a deal.
Wow. you have them all. That was great. Now the one thing I think that puts him above that Key Pill is like the in between, because he'll still do a little stand up thing while he's hosting the show.
Yeah.
While Key, they're pretty corny. But
They do still
kind of
improv.
They're improv stuff.
They have like their moments where they're in front of a crowd and they're like talking.
Well, I'm saying they're in between the sketch stuff. It's sometimes it's funny, but
I almost forgot.
Most of the time, it's like really corny, and it's like this get me to.
I almost forgot they did it because most of their skits don't show it. Like if you go to Chappelle, if you look up Chappelle and look up a skit, like there's almost always him setting it up and then going into it. But like with them, like you said, like it's like show me the skit, so they cut that part off almost. I almost forgot.
Well, no, they still show them.
No, I mean like I'm talking about like when you see them on like clips of them on the on.
Are you talking about going on YouTube?
Yeah, because I like when I look on YouTube, the Chappelle Show skits show a little bit of that shit as well as depending on which skit, like if he's setting it up. But Key and Peele almost never does that. To the point where I almost forgot. That's like the main way that I watch their shit. Like I have watched through most of it on TV and stuff, but like we said, I stopped watching TV, so I mostly consume their skits on YouTube, and they don't put that stuff on there anymore. Like they don't have like the parts of them setting anything up. Unless it's something that's like really important to the thing, like one of the things talking about how both of them had a white mom and a black dad. I think don't they both have that?
Yeah, they're both.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think they're both have white moms. I remember it was something about not getting spanked or something.
Exactly, and they were talking about that in front of and that was important to the skit, and they put that in. So I don't know.
So my next question then will be dealing with more TV shows. Friends, Living Single.
Living Single.
I had to make sure that was a test.
Because Living Single is literally Friends. Friends stole the formula for Living Single.
Yep.
I'm not gonna blame anyone who was part of Friends other than NBC, the network. They're literally Queen Latifah went to the network the year before Friends came out with the idea for Living Single, and they're like, "Oh, well, that's a group that I don't know if we'll I don't know if we could do that, Queen Latifah." And then it did come out on NBC, did it not? Living Single, or was that Fox? It might have been Fox, because back then Fox was really letting black people cook. Like Martin came out on Fox, all the shit came out on Fox.
I think it might have been ABC. No, because that's very family oriented shit.
Yeah.
Maybe CBS.
Possibly. But
I only remember seeing it on UPN. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Reruns, yeah, because we were too young back then.
Yeah.
Fucking but yeah, they basically stole the idea from Friends from Queen Latifah, because it was just like, hey, 6 friends living in New York City, just dating and living life, or whatever, and they took that and they were like, hey, so let's put them in a different part of the city, 6 people, and yeah, let's do that.
I will say though, Queen Latifah is an underrated female rapper. I'm gonna go on record and saying that.
Who the fuck is that? Underrated.
Well, there are
who doesn't give her a props?
Group of people who don't even know that she used to rap.
That is true. These youngins out here.
She does rap,
Did you just point
jazz,
at
acting.
Thank you for making me say that to everybody, so they know I pick my ears like a nasty nigga.
Massage the lobe.
So what did I miss earlier?
Because every so often you get this feeling in your ear that you're like, it's something crawling in my ear, and you kind of have to, you know what I mean? No, we really
people.
Maybe got a new wig.
No one. Oh wow! Why would you? That's the
way he's looking at me too, like he fucking.
Why would you say that to him? That's just.
He said the way he got something like that feeling, you like feel like something moving in your ear. I was like, I never got that feeling. What the fuck?
Just immediately gonna go there? That's hateful.
You don't know is that he put one on your pillow the night before.
Oh man, that's what the pain was.
That fucking hard. You just put one on my floor and I'm fine.
Like freaking. That's how the Animorph things were. The things that was taking people over in Animorphs are crawling to your ear.
Yeah, I remember that. That was fucking.
You got Parasite the Maxim where they just straight up like.
There was a thing. There was a thing like that in The Witcher, where like they got a guy in there who died in there. What's his name? And then he just dropped this box that like. With these fucking nasty ass like worms, they got in people and they started doing shit to sabotage like the whatever something like that. So I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Body jacking is never great.
Yeah,
especially when there's like a forceful injury.
or it's an irreversible or some shit.
Well, I mean, because like there's like the painless ones where they just kind of like spirit jack you.
This thing is just all up in people's backs. Shit.
Like, excuse you, I can have pornography in there.
What do you think he's looking for? The tiggliest of bitties.
Player's handbook.
You might want to get Xanthar's guide as well. I don't know what you're trying to look for.
Spells.
Yeah, you might want to get Xanthar's guide as well.
D&D.
But no,
with my character more with the background stuff.
You gotta let me know. You gotta, because there's things that with backgrounds where you have actual proficiency and stuff. With,
honestly,
that's stuff I need.
If I ever find a place that actually houses like real spell books and stuff like that, I will go there and like study up.
I'm not fucking with that.
But anytime I ever ask people about what is your top 6 for female rappers or anything like that, no one ever says Queen Latifah. No,
it's because she doesn't tour anymore and her body of work is...
general,
yeah.
No one ever mentioned... Everyone be like, oh, how can you have and not mention Lady Shaw? And I was like, well, how can you have this conversation and not mention Queen Latifah?
You can't, but people don't know that. People are dumb.
It's the same thing when I think I brought it up to you when talking about rappers and not mention Will Smith. Yeah. And I had to tell him, I had to show a few people that, okay, you want to talk numbers, he has bigger numbers than Jay-Z.
People talk shit about his style and this, that, and the third, but yes, he does have a rapper's mind. He can...
He's a lyricist.
He can freestyle. He is a lyricist. He has it. Like
story rap. Everyone goes for Slick Rick, and I understand that because he is he's one of the few who made story rap out there. But Will Smith is also one that really set the bar up there for storytelling rap.
Who made Love's Gonna Get You? I'm trying to think. Is that KRS-One? That's not KRS-One.
Oh, I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look that one up. But to me, it's just weird that, and I never get to these conversations with anyone that's 4 or 5 years younger than me because I would expect for them not to know.
Yeah, I mean,
but I definitely, for someone who's like my age or older, and for them not to have someone like Queen Latifah in the conversation, Slick Rick, Will Smith.
I mean, people like that. When the summer comes around every year, they still bump Summertime.
Yeah,
they still bump Summertime.
It's not summer until that song comes on the radio.
It is KRS-One. Love's Gonna Get You.
All right.
It's a good song.
And then ask people about beatboxing, and if anyone doesn't mention Dougie
Fresh, I'm
punching them in the face.
Yeah, because remember I was telling you what the fucking commercial I saw. Remember when we went to the movies? And there was the white guy who was doing the commercials that they have beforehand. Yeah, the car commercial or whatever or insurance commercial was doing like the beatboxing white guy, and I'm sitting there like, I mean, I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad that anybody's getting checks and that they're getting money, but like, maybe find a black dude that can beatbox too. Like we.
Well, see, here's
what the fuck.
I won't get mad for stuff like that.
I'm not mad. I'm just like
Well, no, I consider you were still feeling some type of way for the fact that it was a white guy. When it comes to music, I don't have.
You're different because you're classically trained, and you're trained to believe that music can come from anyone.
How does being classically trained?
Because you have more respect for everyone and everything and every place where music comes from. Me, I'm a secondary school nigga. My music skills are limited, and they are not as.
He said secondary, but yeah, he went to like an all-white school, basically.
I basically did, yeah. With
secondary,
a decent music program. So I'm like, yeah.
I didn't even have a decent music program.
Nigga, you went to the school. You went to a college of music, did you not?
Yeah, for college.
Nigga, that's better.
I'm talking about. For me, I felt this way back in high school when I wasn't going. I can't
lift 45 pounds. I couldn't lift 45 pounds. Yeah, when you were 9, you can lift like 100 now. It's like,
no, I can't.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Fucking arms. Yeah, you can. Stop it.
I can push 100 pounds.
Stop it. Stop making it seem like you can't throw people out windows.
I can't throw people out windows.
Miranda thinks you can throw a person out a window.
It's hilarious.
Hannah thinks you can throw a person
Because Miranda thinks that I can throw her out of a window because of her tiny little ass.
See, it's hilarious. He says
I didn't look at her ass, so I don't.
It's hilarious. He says this, but I'm pretty sure if Serena Williams jumped on him, he'd catch her with no problem.
That's all body. I clean said I can push over 100 pounds.
Fucking yo, I'm ready.
I would never.
I'm ready
Serena.
for that moment.
I will gladly be her trampoline.
Where Joe gets his like cocoon moment, coming out of the cocoon moment, where like Serena's just in midair and he's just like fucking like Neo, in the fucking second major, tearing apart a fucking city. And he's like, it's fucking like yo.
So he's just, wait, is the vibe gonna be that he gonna be the yes?
He has the
best part in that whole movie is when he did that. I don't care. That was the best part.
What talking about now?
And Matrix Reloaded, when Neo was doing to catch Trinity, and he was like, "Oh shit!" He's like deep in looking into it, and he catches her. He's like,
Link. Yeah, they're operator Link.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember the operator? The black dude.
No. I'm trying to remember. Like, I gotta remember the scene. I know who you're talking about. Just, I don't remember.
It was when he went in to talk to the architect or the source or whatever. The white guy in the thing, and he was like, "You're gonna either have to choose to let her go and do whatever you're supposed to do or whatever, or you can choose to like save her and
it's been a minute since I've seen that movie, so it's
fuckboy path." And then he was like, "I'll choose the fuckboy path because I'm gonna save that bitch." And he's like, "You're not gonna make it even if you leave." And then it got corrupted or some shit. They end up outside. He breaks through a door and he just fucking zooms straight the fuck out, destroying like the entire city as he's going through. Fucking windows are breaking, cars are flipping over and shit like that when he's fucking flying through.
That's actually when after that he restarts her hurt.
Yeah,
because he was like, "You said
remember the movie starts out. Doesn't the movie start with her falling and then it's like it's one of those things where it goes back to C to show you what happens at B
10 hours earlier.
Yeah, right.
Basically.
I fucking hate that when they do that, but still, yeah. And then he catches her, and then he restarts her heart, and then he fingered her source code.
Pulled that
In any case, I can prove all of this if we go to the gym. You can put me over there to
you say you can't lift me?
No,
I don't believe you, Joe. I could lift you.
Are you talking about like just pure arms? Body, yes. Because I was capable of picking up Temtem. And Temtem, he's up there.
I'm going to say it was a win.
Like, I probably would say he's close to probably having 100 on you.
Holy shit. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you for not telling everybody my weight like that. Like, thank you.
9,000!
How many chins do you think I have? I'm not Ego Raptor.
One for each month.
Wait, so did he?
So for every what?
Each month.
He said that, and all I could think of was a black dude saying, "Damn," when that woman stepped on the scale and it said 805. And he big as fuck himself. He like, damn. Oh, shit. But no, I have weak upper body.
Do you really?
Entirely so. I'm very solid for core and legs.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense because you should be, because your legs should be stronger.
The only way I can prove is doing deadlifts. I'm really good at doing deadlifts.
Isn't that?
That's pure
legs. Yeah, yeah.
I can probably deadlift about.
So are you saying you're
close to 600 pounds?
You saying you're a kangaroo?
I mean, I could kick the fuck out of somebody.
By saying his headlights are nasty.
Interesting.
Now, I will say though, if it wasn't for the pure fact that with me growing up as a child, that my shoulders and elbows would just pop out of socket like that all the time, I probably would be able to lift well over 200-300 pounds.
That exponential growth.
But because of that, I have weak joints. So and that's something that it just there.
Really, that sucks.
Yeah. Which is why I was saying before, it's not that I don't have the strength to do 25 push-ups in a row. It's the pure fact that my body won't allow it because of the joints. So my arms will start shaking after 10, like violently shaking.
Is that something you can work up to? You want to start doing that?
I mean, that's what I've been trying to do so I can pass the police exam.
You want to be a cop?
Let's change want to kind of have to be, because it's the only thing I'm capable of doing properly.
That's dumb. You're classically trained. You can play 5 fucking instruments.
You can also be a porn master.
Go ahead and correct me. Correct me because I know it's higher than that.
I've tried.
Fucking don't even say that.
No. I've tried out to be in Disney's orchestra.
I mean, Disney's orchestra. They don't take black people.
I was out of 200. I was 20th.
Damn.
So I got pretty close. But that's the same thing that's always happened to me with
music.
Going into college or anything like that.
The nice thing with music is that you don't necessarily have to like go to like a thing that are like you don't have to be in the Philharmonic to make money with music. You can do your own thing. You can make your like YouTube videos on teaching people how to play stuff.
I'm not a solo person. I'm not a good teacher when it comes to music either.
You know what you can do? You can make the music for Justin's videos. Justin can pay you whenever he gets paid.
See, I'm not a producer to where I can make music like that. Like I wish I had the mindset of fucking Kanye West when it comes to music.
He's a dope producer. That's one thing that like
people fucking genius.
People make fun of him for, you know, the crazy shit, but I'm like, yeah, most artists are crazy. Let's be real. Fucking he's one of those people that like Dre has been approached by people who like professionals in music just in general who are telling him like, bruh, I know you just do this rap shit, but like you've got it. Like you have this thing that's better than everybody else. That like even people who are more on the, I guess you could, what would you call it, like the less street version of music or whatever.
I love Dre. I would put Kanye over him.
Oh, definitely. No, I'm not. I'm just saying that the two of them.
I've gotten into a lot of arguments with people who will call me fucking stupid and weird for saying that.
Because they don't realize how much Kanye has actually done. You look at a lot of Jay-Z's early work and a lot of stuff like that, and it's like, well, yeah. Well, maybe not early work. Maybe like everything after a certain album. I can't remember which one it was. But all I mean is just that they're both notable people who have been approached by people outside of rap and acknowledged by professional musicians and soundboard people and fucking, you know, producers and stuff that are like, yeah.
If there was 3 people, no, 4. I'll keep it with 4. 4 people that I wish I had the mindset of when it comes down to music and being able to do things just like them. Kanye West, Prince.
Damn. Yeah.
That you can't.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like it fucking. You're asking for a lot. Because fucking Prince in and of itself is like, bruh, I don't know who the other 3 people are, but like, fuck. You already getting like, that's more talent you can fit in one person. Even with just Prince. That's like,
maybe that's why his growth stunted.
Either one of the guys from Daft Punk. Because that when it comes down to anything on terms of electronic music, they're I don't care. They are top tier. No one's above them. I don't care what anyone says.
That Kanye went to them says something. So. And
then Robert Glasper.
Who's that?
He is a jazz musician. He got big out in Europe before he started coming over here. But another just great mindset for sound.
Say his name again?
Robert Glasper.
Glasper?
He did a few things with Joe Scott.
Like Casper with a gl?
Yeah, basically.
Just so people, like, if everybody wants to listen to, yeah, right? Somebody wants to, there's the G! Somebody wants to listen to his shit.
I tell you.
Cold. Smart. Cold. Smart.
This motherfucker's over here touching his face. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is he doing?
His hand is cold.
His quirk is awakening. One of his hands is cold, the other one is warm.
Todoroki.
Half cold, half warm.
We gotta find a way to like edit reality to change that fucking thing. It just bothers me.
I see Hot Patch, the human.
Pretty much.
But yeah, no, Robert Glasper is. If I had to say for someone who I think thinks along the lines of him when it comes to music like that, would be Kendrick Lamar.
Why did I know you were gonna say that? Kendrick is because I heard Robert. Of course, him being older. Of course, I heard him first. But a lot of his songs that he does, like Rigor Mortis, which is a one song from Kendrick that no one really gives credit. That is a fucking
phenomenal fucking song. It reminds me of his music. And
that was when he had Busta Rhymes on that too, right? On Rigor Mortis, or was that
no? That was just him.
I think Rigor Mortis might have been. There was a remix with Busta Rhymes.
Maybe, but Rigor Mortis came out like before he got like really big, and I think that was the one he put a music video on YouTube up to kind of.
Yeah, that was.
But he did that in the same.
So yeah, the remix. The remix is the one that came on one of his albums later.
Yeah,
I think. That was the one that had Busta Rhymes because that's the only one I've ever listened to is that remix.
Okay, well,
it's fucking good. Holy shit!
I prefer the original one where it's him. It's still either way.
Because it's less Busta Rhymes.
Either way, no, because I fucking love Busta Rhymes. Anything he's ever done. Busta Rhymes is one of those few rappers where I want to say there's nothing he could do that I won't like.
He did. Oh, man. That's a good song.
And he's another one who's great at going in and out of his own genre. Cause rap, R&B. You can't fucking tell me the song that he did with Janet wasn't hidden. I mean, come on.
I heard something on the radio where they said some shit like, oh yeah, this new song with Future and Drake where they're like, oh, fucking there go Future again doing that cool thing where he's so influential. He's doing this thing where he, has, it's almost like you get two songs in one. I'm like, nigga, Kendrick Lamar has been doing that since like his first album? No? Yes? Easily the second is Mad Kid. Fucking, I can't remember the fucking name of the album.
Good Kid, Mad City.
Good Kid, Mad City. Fucking, that song, Mad City, is like two songs in one. Half of his music is
Isn't
two songs
that his
in one.
first?
I thought To Pimp a Butterfly was his first.
I think that one came after.
Possibly. Possible. Kendrick Lamar came out during a time where I was in college and I wasn't looking for new music. So when he came out, I very much slept on him until I started playing GTA, which was after like my fourth year in college. And I listened to ADHD, and then I started listening to more of his music and stuff like that. And then that's how I get into music. I get into music from shit that I enjoy that uses the music. The same way. Yeah, the same way I get into most of my Japanese. I don't think I have any music. How to put this? I don't think I have a Japanese band that I listen to that hasn't done at least one opening or ending or something for some kind of product or whatever that I've like listened to. So you got TM Revolution does fucking Kenshin, but he also did Single Bizarre stuff like that.
Attack, Monkey Magic, M-Flow.
Fucking Gazette.
Oh.
Okay.
Just reminded me of something real quick. Was it the Grammys I was on last night?
I don't even know.
I think it was the Grammys I was on.
I think I did hear something like that.
Lil Nas X was on.
Yeah.
And he basically had like 5 remixes of his song in like one big show.
That's hilarious.
So it was like the original version, then it was like the BTS version, then it was another version.
Oh, like where he did it with BTS?
Yeah. So basically it was cool. The way they had it was it was basically like a big carousel. And the first part of the carousel was him by himself. Then the carousel would turn and he would walk through a door. And it was him with BTS. Then it would turn again. He would walk through the door. Someone else. Turn again, walk through the door. Billy Ray. Turned again. He was by himself. And then he came out. And then Nas came out. So it was Nas and Lil Nas X. And I'm like, oh.
Well, because I know a lot of people gave him shit over his name when he first came out because
that's why he was like Lil Nas and Nas doing it. And then everybody was nice.
People kept telling me he needs to change his fucking name, and he to the point where he almost caved and was about to change his name, and then I guess he said fuck it.
Yeah. So Nas came out in an all white suit. It was nice.
So Pimp Butterfly was first?
No, that came after. It was Section 8. I don't know why I completely just fucking left my mind about Section 8, even though I was talking about Rick and Mortis. See, anyway. like I said, that's how stupid I am.
Oh, stop.
But no. I don't think Lil Nas should have changed his name.
Yeah. The show was pretty good.
So, but I don't fucking know.
And Alicia Keys had I think she might have had a couple performances. I wasn't watching it. I was still working on my computer. My mom was watching it.
Does she still have a voice?
Mm-hmm. She got pipes for days.
Right.
And then who else?
Who's that?
Alicia Keys.
Yeah. Why would Alicia Keys have a voice?
I don't know. I remember hearing something about her not being able, not like Mariah Carey not being able to sing anymore, but
I think that was a temporary thing where she had
I thought she had like
some stuff where she had to stop for a little bit, but then she came back.
Oh, okay, so I didn't hear anything about her coming back.
Yeah, she had a performance.
Or rather, I don't know if she. I mean, I think it was just like a cold thing, and it wasn't really. I don't think she's working on anything right now, is she? She's mostly like a judge for The Voice, right, or whatever.
Got me.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know she had a performance. Lil Nas X with like everybody. Demi Lovato had a performance.
Everybody was sick. Everybody was losing their fucking minds over Demi Lovato. She apparently got like thicker, which I was like, God damn.
I didn't know she OD'd in 2018.
She did. I heard about that because I was that was back when I was listening to. I still listen to The Breakfast Club. I've been off for a couple months, but yeah, they were talking about how messed up it is that like you can keep flip flopping like that because she was in rehab and then right after she got out, like a couple months later or something like that, she OD'd.
Because I think she had like come out with an album or like a big song after she got out of rehab, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's her comeback."
Like, oh yeah, and then.
Yeah,
I hope she's feeling because
I've seen it though.
Yeah, I hope she's better because I don't necessarily like Demi Lovato, but I also don't hate her. She's neutral. Just a little bit more than neutral though, because I think she's a nice person. She seems nice.
I was gonna say if you have a question about her thickness, you should ask Tia. Tia's the expert on her thickness.
And apparently, she got thicker. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah,
I'm here for that.
Fuck,
I'm okay with that.
I never knew what she looked like until that picture because my friend Shadina was like saying, "Oh, y'all fake motherfuckers out here riding her, and y'all were just throwing her in the
somebody sitting there like somebody in the comments like I wish."
She's like, "Oh, y'all left her out 2018 when she OD'd, all y'all fake ass fans and whatnot." And I was like, "Damn, wait, she OD'd?" I was like, "Yo." She was like, "How the fuck did you not hear about this?" Because I'm not in celebrities' lives like that. I mean, I heard a few of her songs, and I like her songs. I never knew what she looked like, but goddamn, I'm a fan now.
So I think she was Disney, right? She'd take it to the hand and come back.
She was straight up Disney, like she's legit, like had TV shows on Disney and all that kind of stuff.
It was her show. I don't remember what it was, but it was like her show, I think.
I didn't know she was from Disney.
Yeah, she's a Disney kid. They all fucked up a little bit.
Oh, that's why she OD'ing.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
I would say the only, like, from what I know of, the only like really safe one is Hillary Duff.
No,
Hillary Duff had some shit happen.
She had some racist shit happen too, didn't she?
And it was, I think, more.
What about Justin Timberlake?
Justin Timberlake,
because wasn't he like one of them?
Cheated on his wife.
Wasn't he like? He's
like this nigga. First of all, Jessica Biel is fine as fuck. How dare you, Justin? From one Justin to another, you fucking up, nigga. Second of all,
he said he almost though. I mean, he ain't put it all the way in, so he good.
No. He was just he's married and he was caught holding hands with his co-star. It's like, nigga, what are you doing? You have a whole ass wife and child, and you friends with them. You done dating with Jay Fowler. What the fuck you doing?
Obviously, they practicing for the scene.
I'm just saying. He had a whole scene where he's dry humping Cameron Diaz in a movie.
That's acting.
I don't really. You think that was acting?
That's fucking.
I wouldn't be able to act that one that well.
Christina Aguilera. What about her?
Yeah.
Christina Aguilera.
She's alright. Yeah.
Because
she's like one of the only people who has it. There are some people who don't.
Because they were all.
Is she a Disney person too?
Yeah, they were all like Mickey Mouse in the House Club.
Fucking
like
Justin and her, yeah, they were like dumb young when they were.
And Britney Spears too. I think all three of them together.
Yo, Britney definitely hit.
I mean, I might be wrong, but I think all three of them.
Shit. Yeah, she definitely has some issues there. Fucking
her whole fucking.
But see the issue. Okay, were they child stars or they just start in their teens? Because there's a difference.
I think they were child. Yeah,
they're child stars.
Demi Lovato.
I think it was like Mickey Mouse in the House or something. It was like something.
Demi Lovato was in like fucking Camp Rock or some shit, which was a movie. She was also in a show called Sunny with a Chance, I think.
I want to say Jamie Lynn, Britney's sister. I don't think I've heard anything bad about her.
She just had a kid at the wrong time. Like,
but I don't think she was Disney. I think she was Nick.
She was. No. Yeah, that Zoe 101 thing was Nickelodeon.
Yeah. I know what you're saying though, but just
yeah. Nickelodeon kids don't have any issues.
I can't think of too many.
If I remember,
I think Kenan Thompson would be the worst one.
Amanda Bynes.
Yes, Amanda is the worst one. Amanda's definitely the worst. She had.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Look how long it took and how small. But it wasn't anything that bad though.
It's like that fucking. It's like that way.
Comparing her to Lindsay Lohan, which one was worse?
It's like that salesman meme though. He's like slapping this little girl. Like, look at this. You can fit so much dysfunction in this. This shit won't break down for at least 18 years. It's like, God damn.
But no, comparing her to like Lindsay Lohan or something.
Lindsay Lohan kidnapped people's kids. Kidnapping kids from parents.
She really didn't have that bad issue, but it was her because she got like the little cheek piercing. Yeah. Amanda Bynes.
No, Amanda Bynes had something that was more recent, like within the last 10 years. That was some crazy shit.
I want to say it was within the last 4 years, actually. Because it was.
About to hit that TMZ.
No, you can't go to TMZ.
I almost don't even want to trust them because, like, I will, and I did say this before. The one thing I will trust them with is death statistics because they're usually good with those. Those are the things that they don't want to fuck with because you can get sued for telling a person that they're like, this person's dead, and it's like they're not. You will get fucking sued. So they're like, they don't fuck with that. They don't release that shit until they know.
Who was it they did that with that got them in trouble?
I can't remember. Might have been like, I don't know.
Because someone...
You're asking too many things. I can't look all this shit up.
That's why you gotta be the man in the chair. Just have all your screens.
I mean, you're in the King Kong chair. You have to be the one that's...
I mean, I could kind of do that, but...
Why are you trying to make my argument
invalid?
I'm talking about them, like what CJ said, like with the multiple screen things. Like I got a couple of laptops and phones.
Actually,
and tablets.
I mean, the most trouble they get in now is getting in trouble. Like so for Kobe Bryant, which rest in peace to him and his daughter. But with Kobe Bryant, they got in trouble for reporting it so early because the cops like didn't even get a chance to get a handle on the situation before they were like, "Oh, he's dead. Everybody, he's dead." And it's just like,
well, that's because
it ended up being like a Smokey's back here taking a shit moment.
You
where
had
it's like,
so many bikers and hikers who were out there, that they saw, and there's controversy going on with this too, which I'm so irritated with.
What?
With the fact that they didn't hear any call-in about the helicopter having issues.
Bro,
there was, but they were saying that
you can fuck up a helicopter with like the minimalist of ease. Like a helicopter's not that hard to make fuck up.
I know, but the pilots still, there's stuff that the pilots have to do, and they should be able to do in order to help prevent certain situations.
Helicopters are dumb. That's all I'm gonna say.
Any aircraft is dumb.
Well, I mean, at least the plane, the physics behind a plane and how they have to make it makes it safer than a fucking helicopter. Helicopter is just a fucking like a flying dumpster. It literally offers like almost no protection because of the way it flies. It just goes up and then tilts forward and goes forward. It's fucking like it. No.
By the way, a lot of people were recording it, and from what they were seeing, stuff doesn't add up.
Yeah, and it's weird because there was a lot of stuff that was like predicting it. There was a TV show. Arnaldo put up a thing. It was like there was a show where like they predicted that there was going to be a helicopter crash and that like I can't remember if it was Kobe or not, but it was like somebody with 2 NBA like trophies or whatever like climbed out of the wreckage or whatever, or was like laying out of the wreckage. And I'm sitting there like, that's fucking weird. That was because I know that show came out on Comedy Central like a couple years ago. So I'm like, how the fuck did?
Was it Comedy Central? Or was it Simpsons?
No, not Simpsons.
Simpsons.
No, it was worse than Simpsons.
Because that motherfucker came from the future. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah,
too many fucking things have just been coming up completely correct.
That's the dude who made Futurama. Steven Hillenburg, is that his name? Stephen Hillenburg.
I can't remember.
No, that's SpongeBob guy. What the fuck is wrong with me? Excuse me. Shit. Matt Groening. I want to say his name was.
I can't remember.
The guy who made Simpsons and
Futurama.
In Futurama, yeah.
So you think Futurama is what we're heading towards?
The Simpsons and Futurama.
So that means there's gonna be a big ass fucking war.
Yeah, and apparently there's gonna be people like carrot people or something that are gonna rule the world from like 25 something to something. I don't even know. Remember the lady talked about that in one of her dates with Fry or something like that. He went on a date with a lady. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm from 25." He's like, "Yeah, I'm from 1999." She's like, "Oh, I'm from 2599. Remember when the carrot people enslaved the earth?" And he's just like, "Yeah, I think I remember something like that." Some fucking idiot, but yeah, that dude he predicts too many things. It's fucking creepy. So, I'm honestly thinking that somebody else said something on Twitter where they're like, "Oh, early in 2020." An NBA player is going to die, and it's going to be a very important one, or whatever, this, that, and third. And I'm saying they're like, that could just be a person shooting for a free, like shooting from half court, but like for that to be that, and then that happened in January, it's like that's kind of weird. I'm honestly thinking that time travel is like at this point in time we are living past the moment where time travel became a thing. So now this is when people can actually go back to. And then say stuff like, "Oh, I can be the one who predicted it if I just go back in time and tell people and say something." But if I'm just saying it in Twitter, who gives a fuck if I'm saying it in Twitter? Like no one's gonna guard themselves from like the fucking 7 days. Somebody just sends you a message that says 7 days from now something's gonna happen to you in Twitter or whatever. This, that, and third. You're gonna be like, "What the fuck? I don't give a fuck."
Basically.
But yeah.
Reminded me of a TV show. These people basically went back in time to avert a crisis, and in doing so, they averted the crisis, but they created a new future, so they don't know what the new future is.
You mean every show ever?
Actually,
or at least every show where it's not like fixed permanence type time travel.
Because it was basically a meteor was gonna hit Earth. Bad things are gonna happen, so they went back in time to stop the meteor.
I remember you told me about this. Yeah,
they stopped the meteor. Like a new timeline.
Yeah,
and now
like a dictator that rose up.
And like there's a civil war or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, who should we follow?" And all that fun stuff.
Interesting.
It's also interesting because the way they time travel is they don't send people back; they send consciousness back. So they send they send a future conscious into a past conscious of someone who would die.
So what they did with Days of Future Past or something like that.
Yeah.
It sounds
Wolverine's conscious
closer to like butterfly effect, because remember he had those moments in his life where he just blacks out, and those are the moments he can go back to.
So like for example, say if like this literally like one dude was supposed to.
Wait, is it other people that they're going into?
Yeah, they're going into other people.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So then,
So it's more like Days of Future Past, except for in Days of Future Past they always went back into themselves to warn each other. But what ended up happening, like this one guy who was a cop, he was supposed to like fall down an elevator shaft and die. Because he was going to die anyways, they sent someone into his body because he was going to die anyways. They're using his body to like change the future. It was interesting. I stopped watching it though because I think I got canceled. So I watched up to a certain point. Then I was like, time to watch other stuff.
Yeah, this time travel shit is crazy. There's so many freaking theories that it's hard to tell what even could be a legitimate thing, You
got the Bruce Willis time travel movie, Looper.
That was fucking weird.
Yeah.
Oh. Paul's also in that one. The dude who was here, the little celebrity dude, Paul Dano, he's also in that one.
Fucking. He's in Looper?
Yeah.
Is he one of the people?
He's the one that killed himself in the beginning of the fucking movie.
Yeah, that's right. Because he's like, they're coming for me. I might as well just kill myself.
No, because they retired him. So they sent him and then bow. And it was like, oh, it's like, yeah, I might as well enjoy it now because I'm going to die.
You're going to be the one to kill yourself. That was weird. Like, you're going to be the one to kill you from the future or from the past or whatever. That was fucking stupid.
Yeah, they send you in the past to have your young self kill you.
Is it they send you in the past to have your young self kill you or no? Yes.
No,
okay. Yeah. No, you're right.
It's an
you're right.
thing.
Yeah. They send you because the person just shows up.
Yeah,
and
then
supposed
bow.
to kill the person. Yeah.
And then when you see gold, like a fuck ton of gold, that's when you know you just killed yourself. And that's when you've been retired, and it's like, and at that point, I think he saw the fact that he wasn't that much older than himself. So he knew it was like coming fairly soon because once you get retired, it's only so long before you get taken out.
I think wasn't it like he got in trouble for helping what's his name, and then that's the reason why they killed him.
No, I think they were after him before that, and he had helped him. Cause remember, the guy, the Rain Man, was taking out everybody. He was retiring everybody.
Wait, didn't that guy? He didn't get a chance to retire and get sent back because didn't he get killed at one point by that guy, by Rain Man guy?
I don't remember who killed him, but I know the guy who the new like mob boss was taking out everybody, and he figured out that everybody's getting taken out. That's why he went to warn Bruce Willis's character, but ended up getting got anyways. And he remembered it in order to get him to come back. So they killed him. They carved it into his hand.
Yeah, before he got a chance to. Yeah, so it's fucking crazy. It's all fucking crazy.
Find out. Oh yeah, you gotta kill this little kid, otherwise you're dead.
I didn't like the whole because the dude from the I thought that was weird though with the stupid CG that they did on Joseph Gordon-Levitt's face.
I thought that was just makeup.
It might have been makeup. I think.
Yeah, they did the makeup right here to make him look more like
CG too, to make him look more like Bruce Willis. Because I remember being very disturbed. I was like, this is
you not only do you get kind of flabbier, you get shorter and bald.
That shrinking, man. It's fucking weird.
Oh, so my mom saw the trailer for Mulan on TV, so we might have to go take her to see that. Told her she shouldn't go see it though, because they
Mulan director
supposedly
took
out
songs.
You
said Mulan director confirmed, just so everybody's clear, no songs, no Mushu. They did that a week or two ago. They were like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was telling my mom.
Just
they didn't have their songs in it.
Yeah, just so nobody's walking in and expecting songs. Maybe they'll be no.
So you know what's probably gonna happen.
Everyone keeps arguing, man. They're gonna do. They said no songs.
You know what's probably gonna happen.
That's why director actually came out and said no songs, no Mushu.
You know what's probably gonna happen. They're gonna go into the theater, and then when the scene comes along, when they start training, everyone's just gonna start belting it out.
If there is a silent montage, they're just like a song montage, I'm gonna fucking start singing it. I don't give a fuck. You can drag me out of that fucking theater. I don't give a fuck. Somebody, that song is misogynistic. I'm like, no, it's supposed to be ironic because they're training a woman who's better than all of them. That's the point.
People don't get that though.
They
uncultured.
The same thing with fucking Robert Downey Jr. playing a person who's doing blackface.
He's a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Fucking exactly. It's not supposed to be about him doing the blackface. It's about him playing the character who's an idiot who's doing blackface.
No, he's doing blackface. Fucked up.
Stupid. Frickin'. So they announced Into the Spider-Verse 2, Sony. So that should be good.
Mm-hmm. That's been announced for a while.
They had an idea of they were trying to get the money together and everything like that. And I don't think they expressed the interest in doing it. I don't think they announced it.
No, I thought it was announced back in November. They said.
Yeah, I saw some stuff for it too in November. October, November.
I know they were doing casting stuff. I don't know if they officially, because you know how they do nowadays. They're like, oh, well, people find out about shit, so we might as well say like, oh, we want to do another one, and they set it up for another one too. So, but yeah, I mean,
I'm curious what the story's going to be for this one.
Yeah.
Also, everybody need to go and see it because the first one did well, but it should have did way better.
Yeah. I mean, they could probably just be like,
oh,
we didn't fix it. We thought we fixed the multiverse, but we didn't. Whoops.
So it is.
That's actually what a lot of people are saying. That they didn't want to watch an animated one, but it's like it's so good and they can do literally whatever they want.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about how people look and shit like that.
Is there stuff still in the washer?
Yeah, I didn't go down there yet. I told you could just take the stuff out and put it in the dryer and then just wash your clothes. That's your fault, then.
Ooh, shit.
I told you could do it.
I'm old as shit.
You ain't.
I need my nap.
Excuse me, orderly. Can you bring? He's getting niggerish again.
Don't have them relive something at work. We'll be the ones to get the full hate of it.
Wait, what?
You know, you cuss people out at work. They try to do their jobs.
He's like, that's my response to this. So,
I didn't do it.
If you're looking for, it's my own stuff, I can break it. If you're looking for Final Fantasy to come out in March, apparently they're pushing it back to April.
Are they pushing it back to make it a better game, or are they pushing it back
yes,
for they can
to work on it more?
Finish all their collectible edition stuff.
They're just trying to
like we're giving you an actual Buster Sword, the $200 version of the game.
No, that'd be dumb. That'd be like fucking. We're gonna work on all the iron workers who are gonna fucking like that. They're taking
an iron shortage.
They're doing the right thing and taking more time for a project that they care about instead of just releasing it, because unlike most video game studios nowadays, they don't want to release a piece of crap that they're going to have to fucking patch to hell. Fallout 76. Anyway. Freaking...
Who was I talking to and they said that Fallout was their favorite game series, and I said, what about 76? And they was like, okay, we about to change the subject now. I started cracking up. Who was it? I think it was at work. Or I was at the mall. I forget. It was hilarious, though.
Freaking... so basically... Another thing is there's going to be a Witcher animated show or animated movie called Witcher: The Nightmare of the Wolf, and it's coming to Netflix. It'll be good. Netflix is also being weird, and they're choosing to change what it means to watch a video. So you know how like if you watch a video on YouTube, it'll say like, "Oh, you watch this" once you like complete the whole thing or whatever.
It'll say like replay or
basically. Netflix is changing what counts as a view. So now it's going to be, instead of viewing, I don't know what it was before, maybe possibly like viewing half of it and then they count it as like, this person watched it. Now it's like 2 minutes. So if you watch 2 minutes of anything, whether it's an hour-long thing or a 30-minute thing, 20-minute thing, 15-minute thing, if you watch 2 minutes of it, it counts as viewing it. So I guess that's their way of trying to raise their numbers or whatever. I don't know. But they're changing that, so... I guess that means more money for that? I don't fucking know. Because that means more money that they'll be able to, if they tell people it's more views, they can be like, yeah, 50,000 people viewed this, so yeah, set it third. That's also good for content creators too, because they'll probably get more money for... So if you want to support somebody, just go into their shit and view like 2 minutes. Who gives a fuck?
They have 30 videos, just view 2 minutes each video, and
Yeah.
1 hour, you just supported that person entirely.
Yeah.
So how are your ideas coming along for your skits and stuff? You been writing them down, or you been memorizing them?
We're not talking about that. Anyway, next. Fucking, I'm not having them steal my shit.
Well, I'm not saying like talk about it. I'm saying like have you, because I know you always like we hang out, you come up with some, but I never see you write them down. Okay.
I always write them down.
So I don't see you write them down. That actually, are you going to write them down?
You don't see me do a lot of things. Fucking anyway. Dr. Stone.
Does he really wash himself? I don't know.
It's on a break. I mean, well, does anyone really wash themselves? It's not like I watch you do it.
Anyway, you didn't get that video I sent you?
Fucking, no, I didn't. Anyway, Dr. Stone is on break because, or at least it was on break because Boichi was sick. Because apparently Dr. Stone is one of those shows like One Punch Man, where it's one of the manga like One Punch Man where it's like you have one person who's coming up with the story and then you have the other person who animates it. So Boichi is the dude who animates. He is a Korean dude actually. He's a manhwa artist who animates Dr. Stone, and he was sick. So if you've noticed anything about Dr. Stone being a couple weeks behind between this month and last month or whatever, that's the reason. The illustrator was sick, so you know how it is. I'd rather him take a break than fucking work himself to death.
Which most people won't go that route because it's like, well, if I work myself to death, I can take a break.
Yeah, right. That's probably what what's that guy's name? Fucking Kirby's creator, the dude who runs Nintendo. Wow. That's probably what he's trying to do. He's like, he's like, you making me put this IV in my office. I don't want that. I want Sweet Dad. Sakurai, that's his name.
You know what I've been running into a lot recently? A lot of the anime that I finished, I will go on to read the manga, and then the manga is like not that much further. And it's like the manga's been out for like 5 years. Where are the other chapters? I've been like basically cleaning the house with respect to like finishing series, and I keep running into the anime will be 12 episodes long. The manga will be, if you were to compare it, episode 14. It's like, but you've been out. I literally waited 2 years to let you come out more. Why?
Well, it could be like with the person who does.
Yeah, I know. Some people get
Helsing. Yeah, it was every other year.
It just bugs me that like they just instead of saying like on a hiatus or on a break, they just say still coming out, and it's like no, say it's on the break so I know not to read it.
Word. So instead of reading, you could probably just catch up on Log Horizon because apparently they've announced a 3rd season of Log Horizon.
It's about time,
right? It's been dumb long. Both seasons are on Hulu. You know it's been fucking.
It's actually one of the ones I was gonna start reading.
Yeah. I didn't know it was like a manga like a like actual like long thing. Yeah. I thought it might just be like, oh, we're only making a manga for the show, like how they did with. I think Cowboy Bebop has a manga, but they made it because the show was a show, and then they were like, oh well, let's make a manga for it afterwards or something like that.
Oh, since they got another season coming out, I can hold off on reading it, read other stuff.
Yeah, right. And
why use my imagination?
There's also
stuffs.
Not just stuffs. Shield stuffs.
Shield stuffs?
Yeah. It's Rising the Shield Heroes coming out this year with 2 fucking seasons, and I'm stoked for that shit.
They came out with another Shield Hero anime. Not connected to Rising of the Shield Hero. I think is I don't know if it's video game or isekai, but apparently this person made a character. This girl, she made a character and she put R points into defense because she don't know anything about video games. So apparently she's like really busted defensively, but she has crap attack.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, and I think she carries around a big shield. Haven't watched it, but I've seen trailers for it on the anime websites and whatnot.
Nice.
Oh, Joe.
So
I meant to mention that when I got the book, the 21st volume for My Hero, I saw that they had D&D version, like it was like D&D versus Rick and Morty. Might have to get that.
It's also Millennium. Is that Millennium? I think it's at Millennium.
They got that Barnes & Noble.
No, I think it's also at Millennium.
Yeah, I think it's both. I think I saw it at Barnes & Noble as well. Another thing you can watch is apparently Studio Ghibli making more fucking movies. 2 more movies. One of which Hayao Miyazaki is coming back to, coming out of retirement to help create.
I need to get on that bandwagon because I've only seen 2 or 3 of the movies.
I believe there's a service that has them now. Is it? It's not Disney Plus, is it? It's either Disney Plus or Hulu or something like that has them all now. All of the Ghibli movies. So if you want to catch up. Get a streaming service, whatever. Look it up, because I'm not looking that up for you. You know, you got it. I trust you. Google's for everybody. I don't have to pay for it. Anyway, are you not entertained?
I don't know if Google's for everybody.
They definitely need to start teaching a class on how to Google, because it needs to be it needs to be aimed at boomers. Because I've had plenty of times where like I'm trying to explain to my mom why you shouldn't word it that way. Because why you'll only get porn, or like something like that. It's like yeah. So yeah. Mark Hamill apparently wants to play in the next season of The Witcher. There's going to be his teacher probably that's going to show up. Mark Hamill wants to play that teacher character. His name is Vesemir. He's an older Witcher, and he apparently wants to do that. So I say just give it to him. Who gives a fuck? People are also talking about Gina Carano being She-Hulk, and I'm like, who gives a fuck? Give it to her. She's good. She's good to look at. She's tough as fuck. So she knows she'd be a good She-Hulk. The one thing is that people are saying like, oh, she's not a good actor or whatever, and I'm sitting there like, I don't. Yeah.
I mean, she hasn't been in a lot of stuff.
And in the stuff she hasn't done anything like sophisticated, like being a lawyer and stuff like that, because that's what She-Hulk is gonna be.
It's mostly fight. Oh no, fight. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the stuff I've seen her in. Because off the top of my head, I only can think of like 4 things.
Well, they could go the old school route and like have someone really tiny play She-Hulk or whatever when she's in her human form, and then whenever she's about to fuck something up, just turn into Gina Carano.
I mean, She-Hulk is like 7 feet tall.
Yeah. That's what they did with the old school show for Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah. Trying to think. Did they say anything about? Cause I think they said there's supposed to be either a Miss America or a Silk thing also. Did you hear anything about that?
I think I have, but I
Curious Queen, right?
Yeah.
Can't really
Yep.
remember.
Because when I first heard about She-Hulk, it was also something else. I just can't remember if it was Camilla Khan, Miss America, or if it was Silk. Silk will be interesting, and Camilla Khan will both be interesting because we'd get more ethnically diverse characters.
Diverse.
Then again, Shang-Chi is supposed to be coming out.
Yeah, that'll be a movie too, which is dope because it's not just gonna be like a TV show or whatever.
I wonder if they're gonna tie in Iron Fist.
I hope because
they can tie in Iron Fist and they can tie in Iron Man.
Yeah, technically.
Is it because you want Daredevil to be in there?
Daredevil's possibly already going to be in the MCU. I don't really know though. They're talking about folding in like Blade and stuff too in the MCU. And
Blade, I think, is a stupid move.
Yeah, that's not because he's not really like an Avenger. Like he's worked with the Avengers before, but it's not like.
I think it's because Mahershala is one that they're going to have be Blade, and they just want him on a bigger
screen. Yeah.
Trying to think, tying Blade into the MCU would be tricky, like the Avengers part of it. But if it's like a Doctor Strange kind of thing, that can be doable.
The only one I think he can ever have a cross with is just Spider-Man, because that's the only one that you can actually say they have. Well, him and also Punisher.
You want Blade?
Yeah.
Punisher
has linked up with Blade before.
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Well, I was going to say,
he has.
Blade has also linked up.
I'm trying to think of anyone outside of Spider-Man and them though.
I was going to say Blade is also linked up with
Morbius.
Yeah, I was going to say Morbius and Black Cat.
Well, for obvious reasons, though.
Because he thinks he's a vampire and kind of is. So why the fuck not?
And then they also have there is Dracula in the Marvel universe, so they could tie Blade in with that. Typically, that Dracula, they usually science around him, though.
I always think that's dumb.
Because basically, like, half the team's like, oh, no, it's magic. The other half is, and then Tony's like, it's not magic, it's science.
Hide in the other room eating a cookie.
Nom, 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 nom. Yeah, because I remember in one of the animated ones, Dracula showed up, and they scienced around him. But it actually was crazy, though. He bit the Hulk, and Hulk like doubled in size and got super fast and super strong, and it was terrifying. But Hulk's actual healing factor, like in the uranium and gammas and all that, he poisoned Dracula too.
Because what's his name is vampirism is usually a fucking disease. So you can fuck up the disease, whatever, before it like actually takes hold. Any number of characters that have something that can fuck up a disease that's inside them like that. Like I honestly wonder if Superman could become a vampire. I don't think he could because his Kryptonian cells, as long as he's been in the sun, hasn't been depowdered in any way. It would just fuck up anything.
None of their teeth will be able to penetrate his skin either.
Unless it's a magical vampire.
Depends, yeah, because vampires tend to be like bullshit magical in nature sometimes. Yeah. Especially the teeth.
Actually, I think the DC vampires tend to be magical. Marvel vampires go both ways, I think.
Yeah.
From what I've seen.
Well, Marvel vampires tend to be more mystical or some shit. So there's like some level of magic, but it's not like... It's like soul magic and weird shit. I don't fucking know.
Trying to think, how else could they tie in Blade? Oh, they could probably tie in Blade with the X-Men because a bunch of the X-Men have been vampires.
Well, yeah, because Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine's been a vampire. I think Jubilee's been a vampire.
It's still useless.
It's fucked up.
Trying to think.
I'm really trying to think who else has had crossover with him because he's kind of in his own. He's part of the MCU or he's part of the like Marvel's pantheon, but he's like he kind of keeps to himself because he only fights vampires.
Yeah, I mean, he only wants to keep to himself.
Yeah, because he's like a dark brooding like Batman and I have a mission to save the world and blah blah whatever.
No, I wouldn't say he had the mission to save the world. He's just like
vengeance.
Yeah, fuck these motherfuckers. Sorry, I gotta skip this over.
I mean, that's kind of a mission to save the world. It's vengeance for the sake of fucking them up because of what they did to my mom, and also saving people around the world so I don't have to keep killing.
He doesn't really care about the.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He cares. He cares about other people in so much that he doesn't want more vampires to kill. He wants to kill them so they don't keep reproducing. So that he has to keep working.
No, he just wants to kill them for being. I wouldn't put it as him as the grander stage type person. It's
well, no, I'm saying like so.
I have a personal vendetta.
If there was a person who was about to get bit by a vampire, he would kill that vampire before they bit that person because he's like, well, that's another vampire I'll have to deal with. So fuck that. I'll kill them beforehand. Otherwise, he would just be using niggas as bait, which he doesn't do.
Well, that's what he does.
Yeah,
that's what he does.
Yeah.
He uses them as bait, basically.
He's done it before.
He's done it before, but he doesn't do it all the time. He's not like the Punisher with fucking vampires. Well, he's not the Punisher with respect to like the bullshit levels of fuck shit that like the Punisher will actually put people in like harm's way to actually, you know what I mean? Whereas like he's like that for vampires, but for regular people, he doesn't kill regular people often, unless that regular person is doing some fuck shit with vampires. And somehow still remain a regular person, which I don't know how that never happens.
Yeah, familiars.
Then they're not really regular. Then they're like ghouls and some weird other shit.
No, there are some that are purely just like people who worship vampires and stuff.
They keep them around because they can do all the bidding during the day.
Yep.
Does he kill them?
Depends, really. I mean, he actively won't kill humans who are innocent. But if you're doing anything along the lines with vampires and some other bullshit, he'll. You're with them, so you will die.
So it depends.
I was actually gonna quote the movie, but movies are iffy with quotes. But you remember, was it the second movie or the third movie where the black dude caught the black dude and they had that big blood burn, and he's like, I can't help you, they'll kill me. He was like, man, I'll kill you.
That was second.
That was second movie. Okay.
No.
It was this big blood factory in a barn or something.
You talking about Blade?
Yeah.
Or what was the question?
No, that was the third one because that was when the girl Whistler's daughter was with him, and they started harvesting homeless people. So
inside that big barn they had all those people.
Yeah, that's the third one. Trinity.
Yeah. Her sun arc thing was mad cool. Need to put that in Destiny and I start playing again. I'm trying to think who else have Blade linked up with. I know he linked up with Black Cat, but he linked up with Black Cat because Morbius was with Black Cat.
Because of the fuck shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
that'll be interesting
really
when they
calm her when it's not really.
Yeah. She's going to be an interesting one because I think she's supposed to get something as Silver Sable.
They were supposed to make a show with the two of them together and it fell through.
I wonder who they would have had for Black Cat. because she has the whole like I can turn my super serum on and off kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm curious how they would do that. I mean, I guess if they really wanted to, they could have like someone ripped.
Do all the scenes when you're not like before you work out, and then do more scenes after your workout.
Or I was gonna say is they could have someone who's like naturally built up and stuff, and just dress them in a way so you can't see it.
Yeah. And
that could work unless they gotta show their arms.
Or they could do a suit.
Yeah. Gotta fill out the neck.
Dumb suit, like a fucking Shazam suit.
See, and I like that actor too, but his neck was weird looking.
Yeah. Strange.
Because he was Chuck.
Yeah.
And he was in Heroes Reborn.
He had a slight, like, Earthworm Jim quality to him because his muscles look bigger than his, like, for his head. So that was kind of funny.
I'm trying to think of other people. Actually, I know there was this is a random comic thing.
So they could put him in with the Avengers. Because some of his newer stuff. I mean, going like from mid 2000s up.
He's worked with them before. It's just that he doesn't.
He's not a team player. The
people he consistently runs into are like Spider-Man, Wolverine, people like the guys you mentioned. Those are people he always runs into.
Apparently, he was asked to take out Ghost Rider at one point.
Yeah, because they didn't really know about Ghost Rider and how to deal with him because he was kind of just burning people out. And
well, like, someone, Lilith asked him to. Him, King, and I can't remember the third person, but the Night Stalker group.
Hannibal King.
Who was the third one?
Honestly, Hannibal King is the name out of them that rings the most to me.
Well, that was Ryan Reynolds' character.
It is because it's Blade King and.
You talking about the chick?
Yeah.
Can't remember. Off the top of my head.
My phone about to die, so it's like I can't really.
Actually, if I remember correct, Blade's been what's his name before? He's been Ronin.
Yep.
So they could. I mean, they didn't really build up Ronin in the MCU. But if they decide to do something with Ronin.
From the comics, you got Blade, Frank Drake, and Hannibal King.
Is that the trio, the Night Stalkers?
Yeah. At least from the comics.
Yeah. No, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah. So Frank Drake.
Did they switch out?
Maybe made him a chick for the movie. Maybe. Something.
Maybe that's what it is.
Frankine.
That would be a way to tie in the Whistler into it. If it was his daughter, that's probably why they did it that way.
Yeah.
I like those movies.
So out of all these different there's lots of TV shows that they're making for, Marvel and stuff like that, and there's movie or video game TV shows that are gaining traction. Which of these video games do you think actually would make good shows? Because they're talking about like Mass Effect, they're talking about Assassin's Creed shows, that possibly a Fallout.
They were supposed to do Assassin's Creed show a while ago because the movie came out and it was okay, and they were talking about doing a sequel. And then that kind of disappeared. They're talking about doing a TV show because the actor who played Magneto, I can't think of his name right now.
Michael Fassbender.
But yeah, he was the main assassin. I actually like the Assassin's Creed movie.
Was he supposed to be any of the ones from the video games?
I'm not sure.
Was he like Altair or something?
Because I only know when I watched the movie, I wasn't super focused on who the characters were. I was just like, running up walls, stabbing people in the face.
I mean, that's all there really is to it.
And honestly, I don't recall them saying his name that often.
They wouldn't probably.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because the only ones who would know his name would be the other assassins, and I don't recall them saying his name too often.
Or even like because it still had the whole the
machine
you're
thing.
going back in time or whatever.
But I remember them saying like, ancestor. I don't remember them.
Oh, they just kept saying your ancestor.
That's what I'm remembering.
Who the fuck it was.
But I could be misremembering because I've seen people play the game, and that's how they say it in the game also.
You get in the machine, and your ancestor is just a goat farmer, and you're like, fuck this guy.
So I mean,
I don't want to beat him and his ugly ass wife.
Assassin's Creed would be probably the easiest one to do.
Imagine you had to fuck the wife, because if you went back in time into your ancestors,
so you're Fry,
and you didn't fuck your
Fry
further back, so it doesn't even matter. But like, you had to fuck this person, but they were ugly as fuck. You're just like, I have to do it. because otherwise then my dad and his dad are going to be bored. That'd be fucked up. I think there is a part of Assassin's Creed where you have to like
handle that business.
I think so. Yeah, you have to play as like the sperm getting to the egg or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. Or at least I've heard of that. I haven't played.
I've only seen one get played through, and it was basically me convincing someone to play it through because they were like, "Oh, I had this game for a while," and I'm like, "You should play it. You should play it. Let me see how it works." And then they just beat the game. And I'm like, "Good job! You finally beat it."
Word. You're just screaming at them from the sidelines. Yeah. Do it.
But I think in terms of just like the technical aspect of it, Assassin's Creed would probably be the easiest one to do. You just need people who can do parkour.
I think Fallout would be pretty cool.
Fallout has a big enough fan base.
Yeah.
But I don't know how...
They're clearly delusional because they'll fucking play a video game that fucking sucks for a year and a half.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how well 76 did with respect to like...
tarnishing the...
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
Okay.
Fucking...
Because you know how sometimes it's like, oh, we've been gold for 10 years and one bad thing is like, we're not giving you any money.
Fallout is one of those things where they are always chasing the high. Mm. So everybody wants it to be as good as New Vegas. Or everybody wants the new game to be as good as the first two or whatever. So it's like, they're all... Like, people who like Fallout, any one of the games, are always going to try to go for, like, the new game. See if it's good.
Like, in your opinion, if they were going to do Fallout, how CG heavy would it be? Just out of curiosity. Because I've only seen bits and pieces. You've played through a game, so in your opinion, if they were to make a movie right now,
Fallout
how heavy CG would it be?
Depends how much they want to bring in certain characters because they're Fallout. Bless you. Fallout has super mutants, which are big as fuck buff motherfuckers. They are all. Have you seen the things online where the guy is like eating out or whatever, and then his personal trainer, the black dude, runs up on him, smacks the food out of his hand. What the fuck are you doing, man? You're supposed to be working out, just that, blah, blah, blah. The mad big buff dude who's like not wearing a shirt. He just runs up on him and smacks the donut out of his hand. Or we were watching it the other day.
You keep saying this, but then you always come back and say, "Oh wait, no, that wasn't you."
No, this was definitely you because we were sitting right over there. And I was watching it with you, and you were sitting there cracking up laughing because the dude looked so upset because he got his food smacked out of his fucking hand.
Now, is he like
anyway
big like?
I don't feel like he's something he was watching.
No,
after I had left the house to go to work.
I turn your freaking Xbox off every time. I don't watch anything when you're not here.
Is he big like?
I'm not doing that.
You know the dude from the longest yard who broke my nose? Is he big like him?
Bob said.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
So, well, no, he's short, but his definition makes him as big as him.
Okay.
But imagine a bunch of motherfuckers big as him. They all need to be as big as him, possibly bigger. Super mutants are big as fuck. They're beefy as fuck. They're basically like all a step below base Hulk.
How do they look like?
They're different colors. They're green and
because I was gonna say
blue and stuff.
There are mad big bodybuilders out there that they could do for that. I'm not saying they could.
You literally have to get the mountain for each one.
There's actually probably, if they really looked, enough people for that.
Yeah.
Other than that, how much other CG?
There's also these things called ghouls, which are basically people who kind of were walking around in the radiation, and they basically look like... Do you remember South Park?
Look like me, then.
No. Do you remember South Park when Michael Jackson's face started to fall apart?
Yeah.
They all kind of look like that. Only like everywhere. And it's disgusting.
So like me.
Fucking no. So think of Human Torch. It's like, picture that. But everywhere. Fucking. So yeah. And it would be taxing for the makeup department, and they would have to do a little bit of CGI, but for the most, they can focus.
No, honestly, I'm thinking because I was trying to just figure out like how, like if someone was like, "Yo, we're doing it right now."
Depends where the setting is too.
Like finish by next year. I'm trying to just.
Depends where the setting is too, because if super mutants by lore they only come from like one part of the country, even though there are some super mutants on the other side of the country.
It's them upstairs.
Well, you're so fucking. You would have to pick a place for them to be, and depending on where they are, you might not have to worry about it. And also time frame, because they were made after a certain point.
They could do an anthology series and cover multiple.
That would be fucking great because the games only felt like so far. I'm pretty sure the first two games focus on California. The third game focuses on Washington D.C. area. The fourth game focuses on Boston.
Yeah, not a good one.
Madrid.
Yeah. Fourth one focuses on Boston, and the fifth, 76, is West Virginia, so it's outside of DC. Exactly. That's actually what they used for the fucking for the song. When they were advertising 76, they used that song for.
So I have a question for you. Now, would it be
only fucking song that says West Virginia at all?
Would it be like hour-long episodes each in of themselves? Or would it be like season 1 would have this thing, season 2 would have this thing? Like, in your opinion, if you were the big boss, and you was calling the shots, how would you do it?
It depends which one you're going to do, because if you're going to do an anthology series where you're hopping around the United States in different times and different places, 30-minute things, maybe an hour thing, depending on what the people are doing. But Fallout is one of those universes where you could easily just going into like the fuck shit of like the vaults and and the company that made them and stuff like that, the ulterior motives behind all that shit. Even just going into that shit would be an amazing thing that people would gravitate towards that. But if you did do that, you'd have to do it would have to be like hour-long thing. No. Anyway, but yeah, people were saying like Mass Effect deserves a show or all this other stuff. So I'm not sure which one.
Mass Effect would basically be like, hey, we're gonna like not do Star Trek for a year. Let's all do Mass Effect.
You know what people were saying too? Dead Space could be a good show.
I feel like it would be. I mean, they have a movie.
They do. Is that animated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because remember we watched it.
Yeah, so they have a movie already.
TV show would be like
actually
crazy as fuck. Though.
The babies was getting people.
Fucking babies.
Yeah, dude thought he could handle it. He couldn't handle it. He could not handle it.
Baby.
But I'm trying to think. Assassin's Creed. I think Assassin's Creed wouldn't be that hard to do.
They made a fucking.
I do have something for you.
Mortal Kombat. That's what we need.
They made a. That'd be interesting.
We haven't had one in like 10 years.
They did make a. They're talking about making a game. This one company's talking about making a game called Negative Atmosphere. And it's basically supposed to be, I guess, like a spiritual successor, or not really a spiritual successor, like I guess an homage to Dead Space. So, because we haven't had Dead Space in a while, because for whatever reason, I think it might be the company that owned it. I can't remember which company it was, but probably a company that was deep in some fuck shit. So they're like, yeah, no.
Actually, I have a question for you. This is talking about video game movies. We're going to bring up someone that Joe doesn't like. Did you see the Rampage movie?
No, but I did hear about the Rock and
Calypso.
He influenced that movie, saying like he didn't want the monkey to die, and that's the reason why I guess it.
I don't know.
I've seen. I want to say a good portion of it.
Definitely played the game.
Yeah, because I played the game.
Yeah, the game was.
Yeah, the game was dope.
Yeah, I think everyone here has played the game at least a little bit. So I was curious because you're still talking about video game movies. You know, if you had seen it, if you thought about it. Because I haven't seen it. Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to think.
I probably should go.
Actually, no, I think I seen the whole thing.
How was it? Or did you not remember?
I liked it. I completely forgot that the wolf could actually like glide in the air. Because I don't remember ever doing that in the game at all. So it's like
I don't remember that either. So I'm like,
I think it's like something
that for the movie.
Yeah, I think so.
Or maybe they're hinting at a new game.
I thought they were trying to make a game.
That's what I thought too.
I was wondering if like they were. It's fucking too late now. I was only thinking about it now.
Would those be SCPs or no?
SCP definitely. How you can get a
something that
big. Just kill them.
Like it was like some type of experiment that somebody like released. Like it was like a gas or something that they released.
I thought it was like alien because wasn't it in the trailer? It looked like it was in like a crater or something like that.
It was something that like because of course scientists is working on some shit to make.
What has science done?
But the person like released it and like one of them I think like fell somewhere which it really shouldn't have. Like, got somewhere it shouldn't have. That's how
so where was the right place? The zoo. like fucking.
Actually, no. They were launched in different places, or released in like different places.
Oh yeah.
One, and that's how like the monkey, like the albino monkey or whatever, got as big as he did, and then the wolf. Yo, Ralph was destroying shit.
Weird. How'd they do Lizzie?
Huh?
Lizard. That was his name, right? Lizzie, I think it was.
We're just gonna have to watch it.
I mean, there was a big rumble in the city, of course, like where all the buildings and everything is like. But
did they eat people like they did in the games?
Not that you saw.
Right.
Like you can
fucking. Wait, was it PG or PG-13? Do you remember?
I don't remember that.
It must have been. It had to be PG-13.
So I feel like it was 13. It would have ate at least 13 people. Just saying.
I mean, when they went to go find,
especially the wolf,
Ralph, like, cause they named it like a good bit after. Like, there people are calling it Ralph. It was like, okay. But it was like a group of like army like soldiers like going to like hunt it down to kill it and like bring it back. They failed.
Like, did you not watch Jurassic Park?
It's funny you said Jurassic Park because I'm thinking about Jurassic World because I
haven't seen that either.
I wanted the first one. I'm talking about that.
Oh, the first. Yeah.
I wanted to see if it was PG-13 because I'm like,
I
seem to remember Morgana.
Morgana got 8.
The incredibly fucking personal death scene that she got for like no fucking reason.
Obviously,
where they like picked her apart, had her like flying around the air and shit getting picked apart by those things. Then she got dropped in the fucking Megalosaurus or whatever the ocean one's fucking mouth. It's like, why did we go that far into that person's death? She wasn't really that much of a dick. It was just kind of for no reason.
Yeah, had to go back and see something.
Yeah, that was PG-13. So like the least they could do is show like Ralph picking somebody up and popping them up like a piece of fucking popcorn, just opening his mouth.
Even they used like it was based off like a actual like wolf, so it wasn't like standing on twos and
like Mentos, fresh meat.
And they didn't even anthropomorphize them. That's
they probably tried to go more natural.
That's fucking dumb. What's natural about a fucking squirrel wolf? Flying squirrel wolf.
It's gonna be the next DLC for Monster Hunter.
That'd be dumb.
I know.
I'm surprised they didn't do that.
No, good.
Like a crossover with Monster Hunter. That would have been fucking great for that game.
PG-13.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has there been any news for the Monster Hunter movie?
I haven't heard anything.
What?
So I'm assuming it's
news. I was curious if they came out.
I'm assuming it's still happening. So I haven't heard of anybody canceling it.
When we go to see that movie, are we all gonna sport some Monster Hunter armor? Just saying.
Making it.
Somehow I am able to get my hands on.
Like when something epic happens.
See his face, he's like,
when something epic happens, we all have to be like,
You think they're gonna put him in?
No. Who could?
Clancy Brown.
Who?
Fuck. You haven't seen Mandalorian. Have you seen Punisher? You saw the second season of Daredevil, right?
I've seen part of it.
Oh damn. Well, you saw the parts with Daredevil or with fucking Punisher, right?
What?
You saw the parts with Punisher, right?
I'm in the middle of that.
Oh really?
What happened?
Okay.
It was the fact that you were like, well, you saw the part with Daredevil, right? It's like, watch the Daredevil show.
Fucking but there's a character that comes up later on that's supposed to be like it used to be his like CO, I guess. And he was like his character witness when they were doing the trial for him or whatever. And that guy, you'll recognize his voice. Like if you heard his voice, you'd be like, oh shit. He does a lot of voice acting, and he's in stuff here and there, but I can't really think of. I'm trying to think of what else he's been in. Might have to look him up. But yeah, he could probably play he's a big dude. He's like dumb tall.
Okay, but it's not being dumb tall. Well, the Admiral isn't really that tall.
He's like way taller than everybody else in the fucking show. What are you talking about?
Everybody he's standing next to is a white variant.
Wyverians who are normal sized when they're adults.
They are normal sized. They're short.
They're short when they get short when they're like dumb old.
No, because the tallest one that they have is that woman in the research. The dude with the staff is short.
Talking about the girl with like the braids / wavy hair.
Yeah.
The botany dude is not that short.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, he's not.
Actually, I think the botany dude is shorter than your character.
The botany dude?
Yeah.
I think so.
Even the dude with the staff with the French braids, he's shorter.
They're around average sized people. Because your hunter is supposed to be like an Adonis of a person, like 6 fucking feet and some change. Whereas the admiral is taller than you.
No, 6 feet isn't that tall.
Yeah, to you.
I mean, I'm 6 foot.
Exactly. It's the average. That's like an average height is 6 feet. And the admiral is fucking... It's closer to average than what Joe is. And Joe is closer to being the fucking admiral. Is he not?
I mean, he does have that skin tone.
Well, first of all, I am not golden like he is.
Not until you dye your hair blonde.
Like a bronze god. Fucking... Oh my god.
Ha ha ha! That dude is practically All Might.
You said that dude is practically
basically.
All Might.
He sounds like him too. Actually, thinking about it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was the original.
Reminds me of that
One for all.
Just gotta get him to say young Midoriya.
Speaking of things that can destroy the world, did you hear what's going on with the SCP stuff now? Because it's a page with creative works and all this other things. People can go on there, blah blah blah. There's a few games that are made off of that as well.
Yeah.
Some Russian guy just is now in the middle of a court case to get a trademark over it. And is trying to monetize everything. Like, he's basically saying it's all his.
The fuck?
And that's the washer. So now what will wind up happening is if he actually wins, anything that's in there or that gets referenced to that or anything like that, they have to pay royalties to him. So any of the games that came out that were based off of stuff like that, which I do believe,
a couple video game.
The Silent Hill one gets put into that one. I do believe they had a few things with that.
Which one?
Was it the third one?
Third Silent Hill, you said?
Yeah, I think there's a few things that are referenced to like an SCP monster in there. The stuff that Markiplier does, his channel's gonna be fucked.
He plays the games. I think he does like suggestions. And he'll play the games
But he plays a lot of stuff that deals with that.
Yeah, it's not gonna protect him from anything. Because if it shows that in any form and he's making money off of it, it's gonna that's gonna suck.
Trying to screw over the good people.
Yeah, well, that's what the world's about. Screw over the good people so a couple of us can make billions of dollars and live above people.
So you're just gonna die
I'm
anyway.
say that's
but until I
quite
get
a
there,
few
I'll be
different
like
games
my butt
that he'll
with the tears of a fucking tears of children.
from the tears of an angel.
Bruh. Water fountain in your house that's just the tears of
migrant
workers.
So sweet.
Freaking better than Gatorade. I kind of want to play that game when it comes out. The fucking Negative Atmosphere. It sounds like it. I want to judge it to see if it's good. Speaking of rights, though, to stuff, a lot of people. We ain't got them. No. Basically, J.R.R. Tolkien, his son, or wait, George R. R. Martin. Was that right? Tolkien? Yeah, dude. His son. No.
The Lord of the Rings dude.
Yeah.
Right?
his son basically just died like a couple weeks ago. So now everybody's very afraid because they're worried where the rights to Lord of the Rings stuff is going to come.
I remember hearing stuff about that.
Yeah, because he held the rights, so now that he's dead,
the fuck?
There's going to be some shit that's going to... I don't know exactly how that works and how that goes down, but I people are going to be grabbing for it.
Yeah, I think there's a few people who are trying to throw their...
hats in.
Yeah.
Which is why people are like, keep it away from Disney. Try to fucking keep it away from Disney, this, that, and third.
They don't want to have that extended universe.
I mean,
Disney
the extended universe that they wipe away for no fucking reason. That I apparently I learned that fucking Luke Skywalker had a wife who was apparently one of the most badass women in fucking Star Wars history. I was like, what the fuck? Some chick named, what was her name, Mara Jade or some shit like that. She's a fucking monster.
Well,
I think
any woman named Jade.
Yeah.
She ends up being like a Sith, I think, and she has a purple lightsaber, so I'm like, she's a fucking monster. But anyway, they'll probably fuck it up if they get it. So people are petitioning to make sure that they can't do it. But I'm like, petition don't mean shit.
They're just gonna buy whatever they want because they want to own everything.
Yeah.
It actually reminds me of
everything. We're not going anywhere.
I thought you were going to do They bought the farmers thing. We own everything. Bum, but
there's this thing, and it was like, oh, the top 5 most successful movies for 2019, and it was like all the Marvel stuff, and it was like Monopoly by Disney.
I mean, they even bought the fucking Simpsons.
Yeah, because they acquired a lot of. I was talking to Steven about
century.
that not just they acquired a buttload of Fox. Like, I think the only part of Fox that they didn't get was like Fox News.
Well, because they knew they didn't want that.
Yeah,
it's like we may be an evil corporation, but we're not a dumb evil corporation.
Yeah, because that entire channel is it's supposed to be inflammatory shit just for the sake of it to make money.
It's just
that's
Fox News.
The founder even made that fucking. He made a book where he detailed his philosophy about making that channel. So I'm like, I listen to a lot of different places when I get news, but like Fox, I take Fox's news with a grain of salt because I know that they're just trying to shake things up.
They're trying to distract you.
Yep, they're touching themselves while nobody's watching. Anyway,
wow,
fucking.
Now while everybody's watching, so they can get the ratings up.
Okay.
Yeah, but one thing,
thievery on that side of the table here.
One thing that right, he was going right through your fucking time too. God damn. Anyway, yeah, this table separates the people who steal from the people who don't.
Yeah.
Or no, the people who steal but don't talk about it or get caught.
How do I steal?
Exactly. Where'd that Totoro shirt come from? Did you pay Hayao Miyazaki for that?
Did you get that from Hot Topic?
I did not.
Yeah.
It was bought for me.
Bought for you? Oh, really? Word, a gift? I don't believe you.
I feel like I saw that at Hot Topic. That or
it is a Hot Topic shirt.
Okay.
Anyway, fucking space uniforms for the Space Force.
Space cadets.
They're dumb
Are
as
they
fuck.
gonna be red or yellow?
No.
Wait, what? I've not seen anything or heard anything about that.
Well, no, I was saying that, like, I'm trying to look through to see what I can trade. And it's like,
We can do the Carablast trade. Get the Scavalier.
Who?
The new blue bug stag beetle looking thing. Is it a stag beetle?
I don't got that.
You do. I know you do. I seen it.
You said it was what?
Carablast. This guy.
I don't got that.
You don't got that one?
No.
You want it? I mean, you won't have it for long.
I got Shelmet, Trubbish,
Trubbish. Treby Shelmet.
Venipede.
Treby Shelmet. Treby Shelmet.
Shelmet.
That'll evolve in trade as well.
Yeah.
If I had an extra Adultic, I was trade to that. Man, we just gotta get Justin into playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I don't think I will.
It's fucked up.
I gotta get back into Monster Hunter. I think I'll do that tomorrow.
Why tomorrow? Why not tonight?
I can do it tonight too. Actually, yeah.
Help me in the guiding lands.
I mean, I don't think I can join your guiding lands because of how far you are. And I'm not caught. I'm not
What
that.
are you talking about? I'm not at that level cap of 6. So if we were dealing with the area that was level 6, I don't think you'd be able to do. But fucking enter the damn thing. But I haven't even gotten to level 5 yet. It's such a pretty puppy. But I want to get those new armor. Gotta get that layered armor. Gotta look like I'm from space. Saw.
Layered armor makes you look like you're from space. Fuck.
Yeah, it's really nice.
That's the new thing I was talking about earlier. The gratitude, is it?
Yeah, it's gratitude.
Gratitude. Holy shit. What do you gotta kill to get it?
Nothing. You just do event quests.
Or just regular master rank. There's no guarantee it'll drop though.
I thought it had to be like the event quest though.
Well, any master rank or events.
Oh, okay.
I've only been doing events, but when I was looking it up to see if there's a way to farm it, it just says do master rank or events.
I mean, that's weird. That's weird. Just make that noise. Now you don't have to be in the trading part of it, but it helps.
One of the best videos you could ever watch.
You want that phone?
That was fucked up. That girl fucked him up.
I'm gonna back out trade. There we go.
He was in that fucking chair.
Or was a chair in it?
I don't know.
I can't remember honestly.
Yes.
Scared to ask.
The real question is, was the chair in Tim?
Walk past him like, what do you want? Nothing. What you looking at?
They're both going to evolve when they transfer over.
Yeah.
Oh, I was stupid.
Oh, it costs 0 to evolve. Okay, cool.
So cue all the conspiracy theories about how killing Kobe Bryant is gonna fucking let the Illuminati do whatever the fuck. Because
I'm kind of upset people were cracking jokes about
niggas are poor. That is kind of fucked up. But that's one thing I kind of want to talk about too is the direction people are going with respect to, like, I know it's the internet, but like, come on guys,
This is what
it's less than fucking. It's cool. What, been like a day?
It was the same day.
Because what time? No, I'm saying like from right now.
Oh,
yeah. What time? When did that happen? That happened yesterday morning, did it not?
Yeah, yesterday morning.
It's been like 2 days. Not even.
It's kind of I saw earlier today in my feed about a plane getting shot down over. Let me look so I don't get this wrong.
I mean, you can say it, just be wrong with that until you look it up.
See, I want to say it was like over Afghanistan or something like that, but.
So you think they're trying to distract us from that while they?
Well, when I saw it, when I saw that, it was on Twitter. News for you.
Everybody's getting their news from like Twitter and Instagram and shit nowadays.
I just get my news from you guys.
Either that or it was.
And I usually listen to. I need to catch back up with that because I'm behind on all my podcasts. I need to catch back up with the Breakfast Club because despite the fact that they do a lot of celebrity news, which I'm like I barely care about or I might think is funny enough to remember or whatever, but like they also are in New York City where they have New York City news, which is like world news basically. So they're looking at all the world because it's New York.
Speaking of funny news, the thing that you would try to remember that it just clicked for me.
All right, so
Kansas. Well, I'm letting him get his in.
So I was right. It was over Afghanistan. Like it was Afghanistan.
Breaking news.
That was shot down by Taliban.
Someone's clapping Martha Kent's cheeks, and her son can hear from Saturn.
Wow. So it's another one that went down?
It was a passenger plane that they claimed it was a U.S. military plane, but yeah, they shot down.
Shit just, getting wild.
I told you the fucking doomsday clock thing has gotten closer.
Yeah, you said it's like 200 seconds.
It's 200 seconds from midnight. So midnight is supposed to be the point where the world is at a volatile state where anything can happen at any moment and it could just end the world. The doomsday clock, it was made in 47, I think they said, for the Cold War because, we were having an arms race with another country that had nuclear power that could possibly fuck up a thing with them could possibly fuck up everything. So it's a combination of natural disasters and climate change and all that kind of shit, geopolitical shit like crazy leaders being crazy with each other. And
can we just have them go like 1v1s?
Fucking word. What happened to back in the day when you get a representative?
G Gundam.
Word. Get a representative. No, that's fucked. Oh no. That's how you fuck the world up.
You don't fight here.
So funny enough, to talk about 1v1 in Kansas, there was a man trying to settle a nasty custody battle by trial by combat.
He's fine. Is that how Superman's dad died?
And he said, you know what? It's so it could be fair. She could. I'm not gonna say what he said, but she can pick that punk ass lawyer to represent her or be her champion for the fight.
I'm waiting for this motherfucker to pull out the Vulcan curved blade. Start playing battle axe.
Here's the thing, though. It is still legal to have that be.
Yes.
Trial by combat is still fucking legal.
People don't fucking realize this shit is still legal. Because nobody would.
And he used it because the last time it was used was
1800s.
It was 1894.
Yeah.
And he brought it all in there.
It's one of those things.
He did his fucking research. He's like, yo.
It's one of those things that's like in the Constitution and in our laws and shit, and in like city and state and local laws and shit that people don't know about because people kind of just stop doing them. So, because like duels, there's laws against that now. Ever since Alexander Hamilton, they're like, nah, fuck that. But like all that other shit, if there's a reason, like go fight it out. They're like, okay, sure, yeah.
He's hardcore trusting that.
Can you just imagine like Jason Momoa sized people just be like, trial by combat?
Oh my god. Now it's funny because they need to get rid of that shit because that just like perpetuates the idea that might makes right, and that's terrible. Because you're gonna argue with Jason Momoa fucks you up your bumper, and then he's the one that did it. It's all entirely his fault, but he's gonna fuck you up, and then you're gonna pay for both cars.
Well, see, here's the thing, though.
Which means the weak person always has to pay. It's like that's not fair.
No, but see, you're able to pick a champion.
So what? Now on top of hiring a lawyer, I now have to hire I have to hire the Mountain to represent me.
But see, now the Mountain was about to get his ass. Well, he wasn't about to. He did get his ass fucked up with that tiny, skinny dude.
Yeah, but then that dude started showing, like he's like boasting and everything. It was like,
well, see but we always know, don't celebrate too early. There's no boasting. You just get the job done first.
Get the fuck out,
and then you do all that.
I mean, this dude just.
What happened? So wait, the lawyer with is this the?
No, the husband was, because he's going through a custody battle, and I guess it's getting like really, 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 really like dragged out and dirty, to where his character is getting really fucked up.
We're not talking about that.
And because his wife is like putting out all these lies and everything, he says, well, since she's over here lying and all this other stuff, and I want to have trial by combat, and you know what, I want her, but she can pick that bitch ass lawyer of hers, and I'll fuck him up. And I was like, yo. How much shit did this woman say to get him to be this mad? To where she's about to fuck up the man that's representing her.
I wonder if you can do this in New York because I know someone, certain one-armed man, who will fuck somebody up for his kids. He's ready too. If you tell him that's what he needs to do, he'll be like, "Say less, motherfucker. Where we fighting?" Shit. And he's one of them crazy ass white boys that's not afraid of who the fuck he's fighting. Like and I've seen him get hit by like a lot of shit, and the fucking car couldn't kill him. What the fuck is a person gonna do? Ah, damn.
That to me is like the most.
Winter Soldier, you know what to do to get your kids back, man. Fuck.
Trial by combat.
Word. But make it an even play. Try to get a handicap match, so they can only use one arm, and then you got the advantage because your one arm is stronger than their one arm.
We can make it interesting.
It'll be.
He has one arm, they have one leg.
No, arm doesn't equal leg. What are you talking about?
That's why it'd be interesting.
Arm doesn't equal a leg. That's too much of a handicap. This nigga's got to bounce while he gets two fucking legs. You just walk up to him and kick him in the face.
Gotta get one of those
or just push him.
Put the leg.
Like you seen
shoot the leg, Johnny.
Have either of you seen Kingsman?
The first one?
Yeah. Remember Gazelle? Remember her leg thing?
Damn, son.
Winter Soldier has some problems.
I mean, that's years of not having legs, though. This motherfucker just now get his leg chopped off for this? Is he gonna get his leg chopped off? Or?
I don't know.
Bruh, or if he comes back like riding or some shit, you're like, oh, well. This shit.
Get his leg cut off.
I don't fucking know. I don't know how this shit works.
Tie it up.
Turn up my pain emotions.
Pain emotions? Pain receptors?
Yeah,
you gotta go into the Jack the Ripper mode. I'm pissed we got to that episode and then and my computer is fucking stupid.
Alright, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
What? You gotta tell us what it is. You gotta say it. Is that a
PS4 PS4 controller and Xbox One Elite controller.
I think Eric has an Elite controller.
I mean, it's
gold plated.
Is it decals or is it like?
I want to say it's like it's made that way.
Oh, okay. It's got the Lakers stuff on it, and it's
like
it's got his numbers. Does it have his numbers on it?
Yeah.
Because he was 8 and 24, right?
Yeah. They're probably gonna retire both those numbers.
Probably.
Okay,
he's going into the Hall of Fame this year.
They said like
which sucks that it happened posthumously, but it's like
I saw a post where they said like nobody, pretty much like for that team, like nobody's ever going to wear that number again. Like where Kobe was like the last one.
Well, which one are they going to retire? Are they going to retire 8 or 24?
24.
Yeah, I think
I thought I would just retire both.
Career for the Lakers.
I think so, yeah.
But yeah, but
20 seasons or
something.
Like
I said 28.
And the fucked up thing was that LeBron just passed him for amount of overall score, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he got a chance to respond. He's like, "Good for you, brother." It was one of the last public things he said. So,
and keep the game moving forward and all that.
Yeah.
Which means LeBron, you got to change how you are on court. I know you're an amazing dude off court and with doing all these things for your kids and with the schools, but maybe stop being a coach killer.
Oh shit.
Maybe be more of a team player. Try and not talk shit about everybody, and work together to do things.
Don't coddle your players so much, dude.
I just want to get all crying, like like the whole meme when he's over crying to the ref and shit. It's like fucking oh well, just move on. It's such a cry. I can't stand crybaby athletes. Just fuck up. It's like why I don't like Andy Murray. And he's also white.
Some people were saying that it's fucked up. That's fucked up. Some people were saying that it was fucked up that they like Hulu already has a thing for him. What was that?
Already has a
they already have like a memorial thing for like his life and everything. Crackarot, and it's fucking Tyrone Biggums with Goku hair. It's great.
Y'all got any more of those sins with beans left?
I mean, yeah.
Can't eat 2 at a time, damn it.
Can you make a pie out of them, do you think?
Hell no, you can't eat more than one. If you eat 2, your stomach gets like Yajirobe, and you like
can't. You think Majin Buu will be okay with it though? I mean, he's like,
maybe
you know what I mean?
He
like
can juice the energy out of all the food that would go into you.
And he's like super elastic.
If you eat two at the same time without like using the energy it's giving you or using like the food it's giving you, your stomach might rip open.
You still haven't watched Super Heavy.
I'm up to the point where Beerus just left Earth, and I think Whis came back and Vegeta's training him.
Bruh.
Vegeta agreed to. Whis agreed to train Vegeta.
They did Majin Buu dirty. You know what I'm talking about. When you get there, you know what I'm talking about.
I mean, yeah, you got fucked up by Beerus already, so like shit. But yeah, people were saying that it's kind of messed up that his memorial thing came out so early, like because Hulu already has a thing celebrating his life, Kobe Bryant, and I was telling Arnold, I'm like, that's not that weird. I saw that fucked up thing for the SpongeBob thing.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, there's a lot of stuff that happened already, and it's not even the end of July.
We are January. Now in our 4th week of the year,
and all
Fifth.
the shit is already happening.
I'm sorry, no, all that happened within being the 4th week. This is not a 5th week of the year. Sorry,
yeah, because today's Monday.
Yep.
So fucking, you have the coronavirus.
Actually, I think it might be Tuesday now.
It is. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock. You have coronavirus. You have World War II, the threat of World War III or whatever. You have climate change stuff. You have
the fires in Australia.
Fires and now the flooding in Australia.
Have you heard how many people they've arrested for this bullshit?
Was it like 26?
It's damn near 200 people now.
God damn.
All these people out here setting fucking fires and shit.
Like, is this like some kind of weird terrorist
organization? It's just they just decided to burn shit.
No
those are nice.
No
Koalas have now just become. I mean, there's still some alive, but they're extinct. There's no way for them to survive in the wild.
Because eucalyptus is pretty much only in Australia and it's all burned.
Yep, their habitat is completely gone. There are a few other species of animals that are close to becoming extinct, not because they're low in numbers, but because there's nothing in their habitat. They're systematically, I think it's called systematically being extinct. There's no way for their species to survive. And it's ridiculous.
It's kind of fucked up, too. Because, like, why are there 200 people who are setting fires all around Australia to do this?
Because originally it was 24, then they got another 126 people. And then apparently they had gotten, I think it was like another 20 people or so after that. So it's damn near 200 people. And they're saying that there's still more people out there doing this.
I remember the last time you were saying when they got the 20 or 24, you said that there were more people.
What?
Yeah, they said there was more people, and then that's when they got.
Get what the fuck the point is though. Just massive destruction of your country. Like what the fuck? Are they all native? Yeah, because I remember you said with the 26 they were all native Australians. So what the fuck is going on? That's some fuck shit.
It's like I don't understand what it is. It could be just hatred for wilderness, or the fact that you have some higher corporation trying to buy up land so they can develop it and put stuff there.
Because, like, trust me,
but
PETA sucks. They don't suck that bad. I'm not burning and killing all these animals and shit because that's
counterproductive.
Word.
Millions upon millions of dollars of homes and whatnot being burned to the ground. I think there's a total of like 30 casualties of people being burnt alive and whatnot. It's just, this shit is ridiculous.
So that, like you said, so that makes it seem like some fucking company is paying all these people to do this shit. Because what the fuck?
Because why else would there be this many people that they have arrested for this?
It sounds too coordinated for it to be just random. Like, hey guys, let's just burn Australia. Like, for what reason?
20 people, 24 people. Okay, you know what? I could possibly believe this. You have over 100 people at this point. Something underhanded is going down. at this point, I'm saying there's some rich person or some corporation that's trying to do something that's going on over there, and the only thing that they needed was the land in order to do this.
You think somebody's trying to buy all of Australia?
Possibly, because all the land out there is practically protected.
Yeah, because you have all those different endangered species, which are now like don't really exist. But there's no way for the government to sell all that land though, because it's still earmarked for endangered species.
Exactly. So what's the best way to do it? Just fucking get rid of all
even
of it.
burning, even after burning all that stuff though, it's still there.
If there's nothing, if the species that are protected are all gone, why is it protected land? And that's the only thing that I can think of. And I pray to God that's not what it is.
I would argue that still because of the fact that like there are fires, but you can't, I mean, even when you burn down a tree, you're not completely burning all of it. So technically there's still, that land is still earmarked for those endangered species. And as long as those endangered species, like any of them at all, still exist, and as long as their food still possibly exists, because we have multiple caches of seeds and shit like that all around the world where we like keep these things in case of
emergency.
Yeah, like the one in there's one in Germany, there's another one in Switzerland, I think, where they keep the seeds just in case like anything like this were to happen. There's enough that I feel like you can recreate it's gonna take a dumb long time, but you can make this back, and it's not something that I feel like the government would be able to. You can stop a person from acquiring all that shit.
Not within the time frame for where it would be viable.
That's what I was actually going to ask. What would be like the number? Because you know how there's like a limit to how low a species population can get where they can't recover from it. Like they can't physically pump out enough bodies. I wonder what that number is. Because it might not even be like from what Joe was saying. It might not even be a matter of they're all wiped out. It might just be like they need like over 50 to repopulate, and if it goes below 50, you're going to die out anyways. I wonder if it's one of those kind of situations.
For koalas, it's the pure fact that their numbers were dwindling because of poachers, and they were really being protected that way. And their numbers recently started to go up. Now that the trees have been burned down, and the only thing that they eat are just eucalyptus leaves, they won't go for anything else outside of that. They will die out. They say within 5 years. They didn't even get 10 years. Within 5.
I have a question for you. I don't know if you know the answer, but I could be misremembering. It could be in a movie or something, but I thought there was somewhere where you could poach poachers or something like that. Was that in Africa or was that?
Oh no, there's a chick. I just saw a thing
Africa.
for that because there's a chick who's killing poachers. She's hunting poachers that are going after like elephants and rhinos. And shit.
Yeah, okay.
There's a group of people that's doing that.
See,
I know the woman is getting, because she's the only woman, I think. And she is a badass.
I think, yeah.
But there are laws in place to where that is legal.
Okay.
But they don't enforce it because they don't have the manpower. They don't know how to actually to be able to
handle
execute.
it.
So
because these motherfuckers are coming out of nowhere in the middle of the night and just boom attacking a fucking animal. Like, what do you?
Because I wasn't sure.
Aside from paying a person to be a nighttime security guard for a fucking rhino, what are you gonna do? So every rhino just has a fucking bodyguard, but like you don't have enough people for something like that. So
yeah, I was just curious.
Somebody like it.
Because I had heard something about it, but I wasn't sure if it was like, oh, I watched the movie and then I'm just like transferring that to real life or if it actually happened. Because I think in Triple X, the third one, Ruby Rose was doing that. She was taking out poachers.
Now I know that a lot of countries already do this, but what they need to do is they need to crack down on the black market and sale of illegal stuff that comes from animals like this, like ivory and shit like that. Because when you do that, you shrink the market for it, and then you're eliminating like anyone's need or want to have it. Because it's like, if you treat it like a fucking drug, and it's like, oh, you got caught with buttloads of ivory, the fuck you get that? If you treat it like a drug or some shit, then people will. I mean, at the very least, I guess it'd be more secretive, but still, it's like it becomes way harder to do it.
Look at what they did when it came down to the whales. They have the capability of doing that stuff, but I can understand whales are much easier to protect because they all practically stick to each other, and you could just have one of them follow, and there's no way that someone's hiding, taking out whales.
Why don't you see me over here? Money knows I'm down here. There's a fucking shark right there.
Unless they pull a Ace Ventura, get a fake whale, and just.
And then they pop out to try to catch the poachers, and they're coming out the butt.
But out there,
like a rhino.
But out there in Africa, they've been hiring, and they only do it for veterans, so people who aren't active in the military. Which I do appreciate the fact that they are paying. They're specifically going for them so that they have an actual job that they can survive on.
I wish.
But weirdly enough, also dealing with Africa. Did you hear about the priest that tried to recreate the Jesus walking on water thing?
Nope.
Yeah, there was a priest who said he could walk on water, and right when he tried to do that, got snatched up by a crocodile. Immediately.
I know Christians, it's like we probably have a different word or phrase, but like that, bro, that's karma.
He said, I can walk on water and I will show you. And as soon as he starts to, I think he took like 4 steps in.
Motherfucker didn't believe hard. No, deadass though, the funny thing is that, like, Jesus in the Bible did say that, like, if you believe hard enough, then you can do it too. And somebody else did it, and they started doing it, and they're like, wow, I'm doing it. And they looked down, and they were like, got scared. And that split second of fear meant that they didn't believe anymore, so they fell in. Fucking motherfucker didn't believe hard enough. Like, shit.
It didn't matter if he believed hard enough. That croc was going to get him. I think it was Gustav's lake he did that with. And it's like, why are you messing around in Gustav's lake? First of all, it is called that because it is his. He has over, I'm sorry, and I misspoke. I thought he had like over like 30, I thought he killed like over 30 people. He's killed over 200 people.
Who, like Gustav?
That crocodile, yeah, the crocodile that owns that lake. That's why they call it.
It's like, imagine motherfuckers were in that lake and then the crocodile's in there, like, it's his.
No, that's what they say.
Like when you find a spider in your house, you're like, oh shit, well, the rent's due on the first, homie. I'll see you later. Bye.
That's exactly how it is. They'll say like, that's his lake. They worship it as a deity.
Crocodile?
Yeah.
You can worship something as a deity where you can kill it.
They've tried. And the only reason why they know
is
the only reason why that they know that it's him because of the bullet holes that are
in there from like when they tried to kill it before.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Whitebeard the crocodile.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, son. They're
saying that he's over.
So you know what you do.
He's about 100 years old.
So you know what you do. You get a guy who's like, his fist is just like covered in magma. You fist that crocodile right up its ass. No, okay. Like magma fist!
Like a puppet.
You pull one tail, make it a thing.
Do you imagine like just like base crocodile tail strength if it had a Whitebeard devil fruit just
that'd be terrifying. Animals can eat devil fruits too, can't they?
Yeah.
Well,
and like get the powers from them. And like not zone shit though. So like imagine the traveling bear had like fucking Whitebeard's fruit. That'd be crazy. Do you know which fruit is the heart? Is that
Appa fruit.
Yeah.
That's what Law has.
Yeah. Fucking One Piece. I need to.
I don't know why, but I just thought of like, what would be the most terrifying devil fruit for a koala to have? We were just talking about koalas, and we just went to devil fruits.
Pawpaw fruit. Easily pawpaw fruit. It'd be the most unassuming thing because you wouldn't even notice it. On its hands, it already has pads, and then it goes to fucking touch you, and then you end up outside of Australia.
Touch my paw, so soft.
That motherfucker. I'm still convinced he's a capybara, but apparently he's not, because apparently his feet and his fucking nose or whatever. I'm like, fucking animal nerd knowing shit about animals, you fucking nerd. No, but deadass though. I'm like, I don't know about this fucking thing. I don't know. Anyway.
It's
Yo, Corey needs to stop fucking around and pay me my fucking mushroom money.
pay me my money.
I might have to text Corey and be like, nah, I want my money like day of.
Same time, nigga. Same time. I don't know you like
I can't be fucking with this like, oh yeah, fucking yeah, just make money. We'll pay you like in 2 weeks, like a real job. It's like, I have not real job bills, so I need not real job money.
Oh, okay. Is your dice the one with the swirls on it?
No, mine is just straight blue. I had to go to the store and buy a pair of dice.
So there's a
Behind you. Down. Yep.
There's a random D6 in my bag. And it's like, yo, that's not one of my sets.
Somebody sneaking die to you?
It's probably evil then. I wouldn't use it.
I felt bad for Rory. Rory was rolling stats for this, and he kept rolling
guys.
8, 9, 8, 9, 9, 9.
We're gonna be playing Curse of Strahd. Fucking D&D thing.
Actually, do you mind if I see a D8 real quick?
2.
2.
Alright, you failed.
Alright, and whew.
Fucking what the fuck?
Table prop.
5.
The fuck was that? Fucking like command man waving my fucking dice?
6.
Yeah.
Alright.
What happened?
Oh, nothing.
Obviously, he's setting up your next campaign. Y'all don't know. That was Justice.
I rolled a 1. So I don't know what. Fuck you. I took all the bad luck out of it for you. There you go. Fucking.
Yo, the game like when we did that game night and we were playing the Pokemon drinking game, and it came to like the gym with yeah.
This is.
We'll stop right there and not telling people listen to what the fuck
I've
happened.
been pretty interested for this campaign. Alright.
Like so
I'm happy with my dexterity score though. I got a fucking 18 for dexterity. That's like the best fucking stat for the thing I'm playing. I'm playing a monk.
So Joe,
I was gonna say sorry.
no, you can go first.
I was gonna say that with the Pokemon drinking game, when you wanted like if you landed on Sabrina's square, you had to roll. Was it 1 die or 2?
I think it was just a 1. It was a D6, right?
Mm-hmm. So you had to roll a die, and you had to. It was pretty much like try to be psychic about it. So you have to, if you guess it right, you can move forward. If not, then you have to take a shot, and then stay there until you basically get off the square.
Because Devon was being Satan guessing them all.
Roll the dice. Actually, I had to use the bathroom, so I went up, and I had.
That's when I rolled for you.
Yeah, I sent Joe a text saying, roll 5 for me. Sure enough.
Fucked up.
I guess I should do the real one.
All right. So Joe, I had a question for you.
You sure?
The campaign that you're going to run, is it a pre-made campaign or are you?
Yeah, pre-made.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was curious if you're going
Entire-ass
to do
book off
something
it.
interesting.
3.
Okay.
It's called Curse of Strahd, and it's gonna be about a vampire guy who's gonna try to fuck everyone up.
She just made a Blade character. Just angry, broody, kills vampires.
No, I made something better than a Blade character.
Hisoka?
No.
Best
Bungee
man.
gum.
Have I told you about the powers of the bungee gum?
Fucking got bungee and gum in it.
One of the greatest characters ever.
Hisoka?
I love Hisoka so much.
Fucking crazy, yeah.
You know what I
But
would love to
everyone
see?
thinks it's weird that I say that, but I have to tell them, alright, I'm assuming you've only watched the anime.
Either that or you've only
seen his
seen
face.
like the 5-minute orgasm he had when he fucking punched him in the face.
Yeah.
No, don't. No. Do it better.
Basically.
It was fucking long as fuck. I'm like, bruh, when is this gonna end?
But reading the
5 months
manga
later.
and like
Right?
and getting his actual full on backstory, and you see like why he is the way he is. It's like this man probably has one of the most fucked up backgrounds, but also such a great turnaround now. And one of the Just the pure dickery he does with everybody. Like, oh, I'm just going to let you do this, like cut my arm off, just to prove a point.
Yoshihiro Togashi's fucking crazy, dude. He's got some legitimate problems. I don't think he can make a series without it, like, pushing him down further into the depths of depression. He got depressed making fucking Yu Yu Hakusho, apparently.
Really?
Yeah. That's why it's so short. That's why it's only 112 episodes.
112 episodes, so short.
I mean, compared to other mega series, it could have gone on as long as at least Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z had like 200 something.
Dragon Ball Z is a weird one. But at that time...
Yeah, but it's that long because they wanted it to be. Because they kept asking them, make more, make more, make more. Because it was only supposed to be Frieza, and then they kept saying, make more. And they tried to do the same thing. Yeah, exactly, money. But they tried to do the same thing with him, and he's like, no, I'm not doing that. And they're like, oh, make more. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. And they're like, okay, we'll make something else then. He's like, okay, fine. Hunter x Hunter. Extremely depressed when he made the Chimera arc. That's why it's so fucked up. He was literally living in a, have you, remember I showed you the picture. The picture of his apartment, like when he was making that, his TV on the floor, the fucking trash strewn about the room, and then it showed his wife's workstation and how her house is like fucking spotless, and his is like disgusting, and he was living amongst trash and stuff like that. Because that's what happens when you're depressed. One of the ways that it can manifest itself is when you stop taking care of yourself and stop taking care of things. And there's a difference between like frat boy, I don't clean my house or whatever, and like there's literally trash everywhere. Like actual, like this should be in a garbage can, but I'm just gonna throw it on the floor. Or like I smell funny because I don't take care of myself. Like he had some real fucking problems, which is why I'm a little bit shaky about him coming back and continuing Hunter x Hunter, because I'm like, I don't want him doing it if that means he's gonna be depressed the whole time. You know what I mean? Because he's coming back for the Dark Continent shit, so
that's probably gonna be ridiculous.
It's probably going to be. Because we've only ever seen what, like 2 things from the Dark Continent, and both of them were crazy enough to have like entire fucking arcs about. Like Killua's sister and the Chimerans. It's like fucking shit.
Oh, so guess what I started reading recently? Get Backers.
Noise.
You know what I was thinking about? Yeah. We need to get Jackal and Hisoka in a room together and see what happens.
Jackal, Hisoka, and Orochimaru in a room together.
They're gonna fuck each other.
Probably.
Probably.
And
you know, Orochimaru has a gag reflex.
Orochimaru is the fucking, what is that? The queer person in the car for the choke. I don't know what's going on in this car, but I really want to be in here. Fuck him! It's gonna be great. Oh my god.
Because I just got to the part when they go to the Infinity Fortress. The first time.
Limitless Fortress.
Yeah, Limitless Fortress. I just got to that part when they go there for the first time. The pacing is interesting because remember I was telling you how there's like that whole Zero arc, kind of Zero episode. But it's getting good. It's getting good. It's just weird. Everyone looks younger because of the way the art is.
Yeah, whenever they make stuff into anime, the art kind of gets lost a little bit.
Yeah. But it's just like remembering everything is great.
Yeah, you can only expect so much from the interns. They're not going to be as good. The reason that they're not making their own anime is because they're not as good as the person who's, their boss. So that's why a lot of things, like even I think Jeremy was talking about that with Berserk, how different it looks from other stuff. But yeah, it's late, so let's go. By the way, this is the first podcast we ever did like at night. So this is the podcast at night.
Celebrity houses. I'm gonna stop right there. Get the trademark.
Celebrity what?
Celebrity houses. Oh. Will Smith and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Actually, how does that work when they like? You know how in like anime, when instead of saying McDonald's, they say McReynolds. Mm-hmm. Did they trademark McReynolds for that, or did they just say it?
They say it.
Okay, so if someone else said McReynolds, they wouldn't have to worry about it. That's what I'm curious about.
Well, it'll be a different. They'll come up with
it's a different kind of copyright because it's not. You're not. You're not trademarking the like Whack Arnold's or whatever, but you're. It's copywritten in that it's part of your work, and I don't think someone else can use that same name unless you.
What's in the same studio? I think the studios are the one who
Possibly.
Because I have seen a few different one that does have, say, McReynolds or whatever.
Yeah.
McReynolds.
Fucking what's his name doesn't give a shit. They just took money from Pizza Hut. What was it? Fucking Code Geass. The kids are always eating pizza, and it's always Pizza Hut.
No, Pizza Hut.
Gave them money.
Because they wanted
every single fucking
they
time
want the
they're on
advertisement.
a bus, in a subway, near walking past a fucking billboard, or the kids are just hungry. It's like, hey man, Pizza Hut.
You know what that makes me wonder then?
Alright, can I just make a request?
I kind of want Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
I mean, if you paying.
Probably like next week after you get paid.
After I get paid? Oh, for my mushroom money?
Well, no, I mean I get paid on Thursday, so I'll let you know after I get paid. That'd be great.
Justin, I have a question for you real quick before we shut down. Speaking of, the advertisements and anime and stuff, how much money you think was switching hands for, I just had it and I just lost it.
I'm sorry.
Tiger and Bunny.
Like in the fucking... Oh,
because remember that they had some advertisements.
Fucking Pepsi, bruh.
This girl literally did a commercial.
I want Joe to see that because I want him to see the flamboyance of the fucking fire character.
Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I don't know why they made him a fire character.
You don't like the fire, get out of the heat.
It's just fucking. Oh my god, he's probably one of the best characters.
Yeah.
He can make fire powers, and he's got fire powers and shit, but he's like flamboyant as fuck. And it's kind of fucked up because I'm like, did they make him the fire character because he's gay?
Well, I mean, he's a flamer.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you still gotta watch the movie. Can go into his backstory and how like people used to treat him like crap and stuff, and it's.
I can only imagine.
Ugh.
Why wouldn't they?
Because I think he went to like a all boys school, so.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
so his childhood was rough.
People are stupid, so they treat people who are different like shit.
Yeah, his childhood was rough.
Fucking. I need to. What is that from? I forgot what it's from, and I say it all the time. Anyway, yeah, leave a comment if you know what that's from. Where someone walked into a room and they just looked at them and they're different. I can't remember what it's. It might be American Dad. I can't remember, but anyway, yeah.
You know
guys.
what? I think they actually might be American Dad.
Yeah.
I think Stan probably said it.
Was it Stan or was it like a random person at Steve's school before he got fucked up at one point?
No, I think Steve had someone at the house and Stan just, or could have been Francine with
I remember Francine
with left-handedness.
No, that was that. No, remember she left. She made the girl leave, and then they were like, "Mom, you're racist." Oh my god! It was like, "No, I'm not racist. She's just left-handed." We don't like her kind in here. I was like, "God damn."
Yeah, they purposely did that one.
How many of you little white boys think about some black? Fucking yo, that is my favorite fucking episode. The episode with the peanut stuff, and they were like going into like who made peanut butter and all that stuff, and it was like
they had to go under under
the Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that shit was great. The beginning part where the white teacher is just sitting there yelling at her, "How many of you have ever even seen a black person?" And like, there's black people there's black kids in the fucking class, so everybody's raising their hand like, "None of you!" And then she's got like this chick at the front, this black chick at the front with a drum who's like, every time he says something, she's just hitting the drum. It's mad funny. Oh my god. Did you know that the average white man thinks about sex 5 times a day, but only thinks about sex with a black man once a year? I was like, I can't with this shit. Fucking, that is my favorite fucking moment in that entire show. It's fucking hilarious. Oh, it's so dumb. Alright, guys. Actually, no. Close second was the very first episode where he's like, okay, I'm gonna steal this girl's purse, you're gonna catch me, get it back to her, and then she's gonna be like, oh wow, you're amazing, you want a date? So Stan steals her purse and just goes in, fucking running away from him in the mall. His son makes it to like the top of the escalator. Stan is already like in a department store jumping out the fucking window. And then he's in the fucking car with glass in his face. He's like, I may have overshot that one. Fucking no. Roll it. 4. Clack, 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 clack.
Bitch by one.
Oh shit. Yo, fuck this die. I wanted to get real. I wanted to get better die, but like, she's fucking.
You have to be past the die, you know.
Okay, well maybe.
Fuck you, die. Do what I want. Ah. 3. So it does kind of like being talked to like that.
Maybe when we go up there on Wednesday.
Yeah, Danny. Oh, don't say nothing to it. What'd you do? Touch it gingerly though. I saw him fingering it. He was like, eh.
He's gonna roll a 1.
I'm sorry. What was that?
So that means you gotta
your powers don't work with mine. Doesn't work here.
That reminded me of this.
I'm very sure about that. It almost never has. Not the only one with powers in this house, Devon. Alright, guys, we gotta go before, the hunters start hunting me and Devon because they think we have powers or some shit. We don't.
Sam and Dean gonna come after you guys.
Alright, bye. Bruh, if Sam and Dean come after me, I'm
asking for an autograph.
I'm gonna wait. Sam and Dean come after me. I'm gonna get some gold and I'm gonna find Geralt.
Unfortunate.
Alright, peace out, people.
So get him up.
Deuces.
One away, max. And